Welcome, everybody, to the Sports Talk Network channel, and welcome to Steve's Wrestling Ramble podcast here on the channel. I have my team and a guest that will be joining me here shortly, here for tonight, here after the 4th of July. Of course, we'll be in the States that celebrate the 4th of July. Had a great fun and safe 4th of July weekend. Yeah, I know it sucks going back to work, but got to go back to reality. But hopefully everybody had a good four-day weekend and otherwise. As you can hear by the theme song, and the theme song of the pay-per-view, Great Balls of Fire. As I said, one of the weeks leading up to the pay-per-view event, there must have been somebody within WWE headquarters that thought, I really love that song, so might as well just call a pay-per-view name for it, right? We might as well just namesake and put a name to a pay-per-view because we can't think of or any artist reaches out to us to be a song, like the theme song of a pay-per-view event, which I'm sure in itself isn't true. But before I ramble on too much, let's welcome the team members of Steve's Wrestling Ramble. I can't do this all alone, even though I could. It wouldn't be as good. It's always good to have other talking heads, other opinions, whether they're right or wrong. It doesn't really matter whether we disagree or agree. As I always say, it makes for a great debate and good conversation. That's just how things go. Let's start with Mark Rambo. How are you doing this evening?
What is going on, Steve? What is going on, everybody? My day has been great. And let's get this podcast going. A lot to talk about.
Indeed, there is. First thing to talk about, Mark. On a rating scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate the song itself, Great Balls of Fire?
I'm really open to different type of music, so I'm going to give it about a 7. I'm going to give it a 7 because I never heard of it, but it's catchy. So it's real catchy.
And let's welcome to the show, Palmer J. Simmons. How are you doing this evening?
What's up, guys? I hope y'all had a good Independence Day weekend. I'm ready to get this pay-per-view prediction going on.
Same here. And for you, what would you rate the song Great Balls of Fire from 1 to 10?
Maybe a 1. I don't really like the song. I should have picked another song other than that.
All right. And our other team member, Kyron Case, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. How are you guys? I feel great. I've been having a great day. I slept through both sides, but I'm doing great.
I'm glad you got your rest. And for you, what would you rate the song Great Balls of Fire from 1 to 10?
First off, like Mark, I am open to all types of music. I love pop, rock, anything I think is good music, I think is good music. But I can't rate the song because I haven't heard it fully. It's kind of catchy. But I can't give it a full rating until I've really heard the song. I'm not looking forward to hearing it a billion times this Sunday, however.
Okay, all right. And let's welcome our guest, the host of Lazy Booking Podcast with his own team in his own right, Billy. How are you doing this evening?
Hey, man, I'm good. Thanks for having me, guys. What are we talking about right now?
Well, the first thing, which seems to be most important, what are your thoughts on the song itself, Great Balls of Fire?
I've heard it enough. I don't even want to start with that. I don't know if anyone knows the history of the guy who sang it. Bad choice of pay-per-view. I don't even want to get started on it.
Understood.
I'm just going to be glad when this whole pay-per-view is over, and hopefully they change it to something else next year. It's a good card, though.
Yeah, good card. Better card than I thought it was going to be. Now, leading up to it, or even before, I was hearing, and let me know what you think, Billy, if you heard the same thing. This was supposed to be Bad Blood. Bad Blood was supposed to return to WWE and be here in this spot during the pay-per-view. No Mercy is coming back. If anything, I would love to have Halloween Havoc come back. I'd like to have some old school pay-per-views. But did you hear that, or is that just BS that Bad Blood was supposed to be here?
I thought I heard a little bit about Bad Blood coming back, and then they, I guess, scrapped it, obviously. But I had an idea, and I want to quickly run this by you guys. I just want to see what you guys think of this. So you have, you mentioned Halloween Havoc, which I think is brilliant. Take Night of Champions, right? Move it. Put Halloween Havoc in October. Get rid of TLC and Extreme Rules. Done. Because they're garbage pay-per-views now. You take those, bring back Halloween Havoc and something else, and I think you're good. That's my idea on it.
I'm gonna agree with that actually. Thinking about it because the past couple of years, Extreme Rules and TLC haven't been as great as it should have been. And to take those out and put in some classic pay-per-views like Halloween Havoc or Bad Blood, I think it wouldn't be that bad of a move. I'm gonna agree with you on that one.
I kind of agree with that as well. I mean, personally, I like Extreme Rules this year, but then again, like I said before, it's mainly because I was there, and being at an event, it's gonna increase your ability to like it over watching.
Yeah.
So I like Extreme Rules, but the problem with it, I agree, the last few pay-per-views have been not really that good. Sure, they'll have at least one or two good matches. For example, TLC. I thought the show was okay at best, but the TLC match between AJ and Dean was great. And this year, Extreme Rules, I love the Fatal 5-Way. I like the Intercontinental title and Steel Cage match, but none of these pay-per-views I can say have ever been in the running for pay-per-view of the year.
Wow. Yeah. I just find like Extreme Rules and TLC just watered down ever since they went PG. That's all. I mean, when you're in the building, it's so much different. So I agree with you there.
And again, if you want to get rid of another pay-per-view that has its own namesake from a match, get rid of Hell in the Cell.
Yeah, that too.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Hell in the Cell matches, don't get me wrong, but the pay-per-view how it has been in the last couple of years, in my opinion, I think it's got to go. And to be quite honest, I would also like to get back. Like, let's say we weren't going to get Bad Blood, and they were thinking, oh, what are we going to put here instead of Great Balls of Fire? How about we bring back, since we are around the 4th of July, the Great American Bash or something? I don't know. Something would have been better than the Great Balls of Fire name.
Did anybody see the original logo?
Yeah, we all know what it looked like. We really need to make a joke. We all know what it looked like.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and who was the person that drew that? I looked at that and like, oh, that's good. That's what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted for the logo for the pay-per-view that millions and millions are going to see.
I actually want them to open a Samoa Joe's diner.
Oh my gosh, my team just went away. All right, well, anyways, moving on right along, going to SmackDown. We'll talk about SmackDown Live first since the pay-per-view is for Raw brand exclusive. So, Billy, I guess we'll go overall first. Your thoughts on SmackDown Live and this week's episode?
This week was great. I'm surprised for a holiday. By the way, happy 4th of July. By the way, being from Canada, we ditched out on Canada Day and went to the United States. Actually, ironically, so no, it was. You know what? For a holiday show. It was a very good show, I thought. I was surprised. I was expecting them to kind of phone it in. Are you going to run down like each point of SmackDown, or do you want me to talk about the segments? Because I could go on for a while. I don't want to, but
yeah,
it's a really good show. I'm very impressed with it.
Yeah, and for a holiday episode, whether 4th of July or otherwise, usually WWE and their creative team phone it in. But I think in this show, they actually put some time and actual effort into booking the show for a holiday show. And maybe it was because Vince's boy John Cena was coming back. You know, you gotta get your ass in gear and put on a good show, and John's gonna be there. So maybe that could have been it, or maybe it's just, it's the 4th of July. Maybe it's just time to use this Independence Day for actually being a model of other shows with the Raw, SmackDown Live, or even a pay-per-view on a holiday. I'm actually looking at it just like it is any other week, any other day in the 375-day calendar, and moving forward from there. We will go point by point, so let's start with the opening. Excuse me, the opening. John Cena returning to SmackDown Live, cutting a promo. Rusev interrupting him. Match being made later on at WWE Battleground. John Cena versus Rusev flag match there for Battle. So I guess that's how we introduce Rusev. So let's go back to Billy. Your thoughts on the opening segment with John Cena and his return, his promo, and also Rusev.
I hate it. I mean, why do they need to bring Rusev back in a political thing, right? He's so much better than that now. Fans are cheering for Rusev. I just don't see why we need to go back to the feud that was 3 years ago, which I'm wearing the shirt for, by the way, and the hat. I just don't see the need for that. I don't know. I guess They're giving him something to do. And then they put together, obviously, the flag match that's happening at Battleground. But, like, there really was – Rusev didn't even agree to it. Daniel Bryan's was like, you know what? Throw it on the card. It's like, all right. I mean, that I think Rusev deserves better than that. But just my opinion on it.
Right. And before I move on to Mark Ramble, who will be next, I want to share some of the people here are on the live chat. As I always do, if you are here wanting to give your opinion, ask a question to the panel, I will always read it because you're taking time out of your day to watch me, and I greatly appreciate that. Tommaso Mark saying what's up to everybody. Daniel Price, they changed their mind. They changed their mind because Bad Blood is where they announced the death of Pillman. I didn't know that. Now Vince has already bastardized enough WCW pay-per-views. Great. How is Cena spewing the same old shit and the Discount Mile segment great? Other than Styles and Gable, it was a garbage show. And Daniel Price also chimed in, Rusev, how many times must one single person be buried by John Cena? So there are comments here in the live chat. So Mark Ramble, what were your thoughts on the opening segment of SmackDown Live?
You know, honestly, it was about damn time Rusev came back. You know, I was getting sick and tired of Rusev having, you know, I follow him on Twitter, and at one point he was talking about NHL games and how he wasn't going to be at SmackDown because of that. And it was honestly pissing me off because I was waiting for this man to come back and at least do something. I was really expecting him to come back on the last pay-per-view for SmackDown and kind of mess up the title match, but I guess that shit didn't happen. Let's just be real. And, you know, it turns out he comes back of all times in the beginning of SmackDown. I don't want to see John Cena against Rusev because we all know John Cena is going to win. He's going to bury Rusev once again, and Rusev's not going to be able to come back from that just like any other wrestler. We could bring Alex Riley, for example, if you still remember him, The Miz. I don't know exactly what he was. He was like The Miz's partner, I guess you could say. John Cena buried that guy, and he was a talent too. I thought he was good, but you know, if John Cena wins, which he probably will, there was technically no point of even bringing Rusev back because what is he going to do now? But overall, I thought the segment was cool. I liked how lively or energetic the crowd was. I liked the fact that Rusev was still being how Rusev usually was. But you know, there's a couple of flaws to the show, but that segment in particular was good.
Hey, I thought Rusev was going to get a title push or a title shot. That was why I got confused.
That was the original plan. They were originally going to bring him back, and he was supposed to take that title from Orton, but they gave it to Mahal. That's the original plan for him. From what I heard, was Rusev was going to take the title from Randy Orton. But that didn't happen.
See, that's interesting because from what I was hearing was Rusev was supposed to come back. He was going to be the one to take the title off Jinder Mahal. Like, Jinder Mahal was supposed to get that push, get the title, but then Rusev was going to come and take the title from Jinder. Now, I wouldn't have wanted that. I see more Baron Corbin cashing in on Jinder Mahal, or if John Cena wins the title from Jinder Mahal. SummerSlam, if that's going to happen at SummerSlam as a match, then I have Baron Corbin cash in on him. I still say Baron Corbin's going to be WWE champion by the end of the year, as I proclaimed in the first episode of the show in the start of this year. So hopefully that can happen. But I do think we will happen before TLC and maybe even at SummerSlam at the earliest. But that is what I was hearing with Rusev. And I guess I was hearing the reason why they decided not to go that route is because WWE just couldn't, creative. Couldn't fit him in and finally write out the storyline to its end point. So they threw it out, and now they're going this way with him. So I guess we get what we get.
I feel like SummerSlam we're going to see Cena beat Jinder Mahal, and then I could see Baron Corbin cashing in at the same time.
I can see that.
I would love to see that. I would love that.
I'd be okay with it for sure. I feel like that's where it's going to go. But again, when we're talking about Rusev, this was so unnecessary, and now it's like, you know, because for me, when he came in, I wanted him to be this unstoppable monster. And now, if he loses to Cena, it's like, how do you take this guy seriously?
And that's the problem. That's the problem because, like I said, I'm a fan of Cena and Rusev. So I don't want this that like John can't afford this. Can't afford to lose. He can afford to lose. Rusev can't. But at the same time, like Rusev can't afford to lose, but you don't want neither one of them losing on, their way back into the company. And since it's a flag match, it's gonna be a winner or loser. But at the same time, that could maybe not as bad hurt Rusev, because if he's not being pinned or tapping out, John just grabbing the flag to beat him could help save him a little bit. With Cena winning the title at SummerSlam, I'm fine with that. Corbin cashed in, I'll be fine with that too. The only problem is Corbin really ready for it right now? That's my only question.
Hell no.
I think you could ask that same question about Carmella too, though.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I don't think Carmella is ready for it at all. I'm going to be honest with you. She's received no push. If she did win, it would be horrible. Honestly, the women's division on SmackDown right now is a little confusing, because you have Naomi, who people are perceiving to be as not a great champion. I can understand that, but it's like she's really not been given any competition. Let's be real. Lana is absolutely nothing. Let's just be real when it comes to that. You have Carmella as the Money in the Bank contract holder. The only two real people you have, let's be honest, probably three: Tamina, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch. That's about it.
I don't even think Tamina is.
I'm just saying as like a reasonable threat. If Tamina's been given no push.
That's right. I agree.
But if you want to just be real, Tamina could be somebody you could look out for if they gave her the right push.
I love that Tamina's rocking mom clothes.
If you give her a right push, she could be a threat. But
I guess
no competition.
Yeah, like I said, Mark, I respect your opinion there about Carmella, but I think that at least at this point right now, the reason the fact that they wouldn't even have had her be the first women's Money in the Bank briefcase holder, if they didn't feel that she was at any point ready to be the champion, and maybe they're going to hold it off a little bit more to make sure that she's for sure 100% is ready, and they're ready to push and ready to actually put the belt on her and have her have a run, whether short, long, whatever. So I do feel that she is ready and able to be SmackDown Live Women's Champion. Now, out of the two, obviously Baron Corbin's already, of course, obviously, between the two briefcase holders. But I do see them both winning their championships, their set championships, by the end of the calendar year, not by the end of the WWE year, but the end of the calendar year of 2017.
I actually see Carmella winning the championship or cashing in the briefcase probably the same way Seth Rollins did, which is around WrestleMania.
All right.
I can see that actually happening. I think that's gonna happen more than
with the way the storyline is. I could see Carmella being Damian Sandow number 2.
2.0.
Well, you have the first ever women's Money in the Bank briefcase holder. I don't think that, at least in my opinion, again, I don't believe that they would have their first briefcase holder in the women's division with this making history stuff and continuing to do so, and have that individual, whoever it was going to be, Carmella or otherwise, to have her unsuccessfully cash in the briefcase. I think the plan along is for that person to cash in successfully, whether it's at SummerSlam, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, I don't give a shit. At that point, that person will be WWE Women or SmackDown Live Women's Champion.
Mm-hmm.
So the women's Money in the Bank match, I want to get your guys' thoughts, because how mad were you guys at the outcome of that first one? The way that ended.
Man,
I lost my shit and almost quit watching wrestling.
To be like the first women's Money in the Bank match, it was not cool. It was not cool to have James Ellsworth do what he did. That was the one thing that really irritated me the most, is the fact that they had a male, highlight that, bold, italicize that, a male winning and taking the briefcase from on top of the thing and giving it.
Man, that Twitter shit got heated, man.
It was ridiculous. That was definitely not cool. That's all creative team right there. I completely disagree with that idea.
Kyron?
That was a terrible move by them. I hadn't seen anyone else's opinion from this show, so I wanted to see what was going on because that was I hadn't been so angry in my life. I was so mad about it that I was just like, I don't even want to watch this anymore.
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
And they literally did the same match without him grabbing the briefcase. It was like, what? So, I don't know. I guess nothing surprises me anymore.
Anyone that knows me knows I don't like James Ellsworth. So, I was angry about how it ended because this is the first women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and a male wrestler pulls a briefcase down.
Yeah,
I wasn't as angry as some may have been for the simple fact that I got into watching Money in the Bank late, in like an hour and a half after the show began, so I was already told what happened. So I was prepared to see it. If I was blind going to a blind and saw it, I would have probably been more angry than I was. But other than the ending, I thought it was a decent match. I mean, I like both women's Money in the Bank ladder matches. So despite the ending of the first one, it was good. And I said this in my review of the show. I saw both the positives and negatives of it. I mean, it was a heel doing it. People were legitimately angry, and it gave people a reason to tune in SmackDown that Tuesday. But at the same time, it's the first women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and a woman didn't grab the briefcase down from the hook. That was the problem.
Yeah, I think what I was saying was like with the reaction of everyone was the way this storyline's going now. Something screwy's going to happen. She either ends up with the title or she ends up not winning. Just the way this whole thing's playing out. Ellsworth getting suspended. I think when he comes back, that's maybe when she'll do it. And something screwy will go down.
Yeah, SummerSlam or the Tuesday after SummerSlam, Ellsworth comes back. She can make a grand return and helping Carmella win the title.
Steve, did they say how long he's suspended for?
Yeah, I believe it was 30 days.
30 days.
So, but my thoughts on it was, I'm sitting back here listening to everybody's opinion from Lazy Booking Podcast, other podcasts, Twitter, and otherwise, and just going, this was WWE's plan all along. From the start, from Money in the Bank, from what I was even hearing before the match even started, before the pay-per-view started, obviously because it was the first match in the pay-per-view event, namesake Money in the Bank. They were saying take it easy, and just be safe, because the plan was to have the finish that they had, get the fan base through the universe all screwed up. They were banking on that. If they didn't get that, which I'm pretty sure, and they knew, and in the end they did, get that response from the WWE universe, and they were banking on that, and then they were going to use that. Then they're going to have the Daniel Bryan and his return. Remember, he's returning just SmackDown Live. He's back for maternity leave, being with his wife and having a daughter. So a great way to have him coming back to have to deal with it. And decision to do that sort of thing. Then Ray just coming back, having another women's Money in the Bank ladder match, and having Carmella win it again. And also could help her in the heel route with Ellsworth. Now also being suspended, and I guess we're talking about that here from SmackDown Live with this episode this week. That now really they can go anywhere. They could have Carmella cash in successfully or unsuccessfully before he was returned, and that could actually start a rift between them. You could actually have, and I was talking about this, I'm talking to WJ earlier today, that maybe Enzo Amore might be coming to SmackDown Live at some point after the possibly cast Great Balls of Fire, and maybe coming there and being with Carmella again and doing something from after Ellsworth comes back of a few between Ellsworth and Enzo Amore. So many different ways in my way of thinking, and again, like I said, I was sitting back thinking this is exactly what they wanted. They wanted this reaction. They obviously booked it the way they booked it for that specific reason. And to me, the way that it's all been working out, I think it's been working the book to them. I don't think the second Women's Money in the Bank was their usual reaction of trying to fix it. Some were thinking because of the reaction. No, they knew they were going to get that reaction. They were banking on to get that dang reaction. They got it. used it, and now we had that second Money in the Bank, which also brought in people to watch, with viewership. We were talking about with Raw and SmackDown Live with the slow ratings wise. So for Carmella, for SmackDown Live, for WWE, for all involved, or even the other ladies, besides Carmella, other women that was part of that, it benefited them all to some extent to me. So did I like it? No. I was upset by it when it happened. I did my live reaction of it, and all other stuff. But looking at it from outside in, I think it was a plan from WWE from the start. By the way, going back to the live chat here, reading some more comments. Daniel Price again. Just wait until Vince books Cena versus Reigns. The booze, oh the booze. Boss Gator Bro saying. Daniel Price also saying gender is nothing more than a token and shameless marketing ploy to pander to India. They have got Rusev jobbing out in six-man tag matches at house shows. Cena's definitely beating him. Pebbles has to look strong for whenever he faces Roman. Boss Game of Bros and Sasha Banks will be winning at Great Balls of Fire. Daniel Price, they need to book a match with Nakamura versus Corbin with the briefcase on the line and let Nakamura go over and hold it, but Vince wants Corbin because he loves indulging this big guy fetish of his. Boss Game of Bro, Carmella will cash in and fail. And also asking why Charlotte Flair is in a dark room.
Well, I guess I heard there was some turmoil between Vince and Hunter about how Vince is booking these NXT guys. I don't know if you guys had heard that at all.
I've heard about that, and I couldn't agree with Triple H even more. I mean, how many people have gotten over NXT only for Vince to screw them up on the main roster or not do anything with them? I mean, if I was Triple H, I'd be angry too. I worked hard to help these wrestlers build up. Me, William Regal, and Outright Fest, and help build these wrestlers up to be ready for the main roster. And then you turn around and screw them up and don't know what to do with them. Of course, Triple H is angry. Who wouldn't be?
I think the most over guy from NXT that's not named Samoa Joe or Kevin Owens would be the Drifter. Like, I don't get it. And they've ruined Sami Zayn. Just frustrating to watch. You're calling Nakamura the artist, or he's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
What is that?
I mean, you can ask Stephen Mark who I was most angry at of them messing up. We all know who I was the most angry about.
But I will say this. After Money in the Bank, when we got that stare down with Nakamura AJ, that's all I needed for that pay-per-view. That was it.
Wrestle Kingdom.
The rest of it I didn't care.
Yeah, I was breathing heavy when I started breathing hard when I saw them go face to face. It was the best thing of the night.
Wait till we get the match.
Wrestle Kingdom 9 2.0.
Whether that's SummerSlam or WrestleMania, I really don't care. As long as it's on a big stage and they give these guys the time they deserve, it'll be a match year candidate.
Oh, it's gonna be.
That has to be a main event too. It has to be a main event.
Yeah.
It's not.
It has to be. Like, there's no. I could see Corbin winning, and because they planted the seed with Nakamura winning, I'd rather see AJ with it going into WrestleMania. Personally, but
I mean, if they do it at SummerSlam, but the main event, from what I've heard, is likely going to be Roman versus Lesnar. So it's not going to happen at SummerSlam be the main event. If they do it at WrestleMania, there's no telling who the Universal Champion will be, and the WWE Champion in general too. I don't think I really got a feeling they won't be. They won't be for the title. I mean, it doesn't need the title. That's how it feels. They won't need it, but I don't have it being the main event of either SummerSlam or WrestleMania. I think it'll be a big match either in the middle or towards the end of the card, but it won't be the main event, as in the match that ends it.
Give these guys a good half hour. That's all I ask.
It could end up like a draw, like Okada Omega. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know what that. You needed a winner, but it's certainly going to be a good match, whether main event is SummerSlam or WrestleMania. Here in the chat, excuse me, Daniel Price chiming in saying it was Wrestle Kingdom 10, Nakamura faced Ibushi at Wrestle Kingdom 9.
So it was 10?
Yeah, so that's what Daniel Price here is saying in the chat.
Okay, so it was 10. I knew it was either 10 or 9 because was Omega Okada.
Man, have any of you guys ever stayed up for a Wrestle Kingdom?
I have, but I did not make it.
I don't watch.
I did not make it. It was, oh my God, it's bad.
Fuck that shit. I did it once for number 10, and it was worth it because of Nakamura AJ. And I'll tell you, between marking out for that and the very beginning when Haku came out in a Bullet Club shirt in the Battle Royal, that was the best shit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I tried to stay up for Dominion too, and that did not work. Oh no.
Oh,
I don't watch New Japan Pro Wrestling in general. I might watch highlights of it, but that's as far as it is for me.
you should.
Yo, who watched the G1 special on Saturday?
Excellent.
Mark did.
Excellent.
One of my buddies on the show was at the event.
Oh really?
Yeah. He lives in LA and he lost his damn mind because it was like, how are you going back for night 2? He's like, I haven't left, so I guess he stayed right beside the building or some shit.
Dang.
I know the Cody versus Okada was really good. You guys gotta watch New Japan.
Yeah, y'all gotta watch it.
It's really good. It's a different type of fighting style too. That's why I like it.
Because it's not watered down WWE. Like,
exactly.
If you notice, like, you look at Nakamura's matches on WWE, they're not exciting.
Exactly.
I don't know what they're doing to this poor guy.
His match with Zayn at TakeOver was really good, but
What's that?
I said his match with Zayn at TakeOver Dallas, that was exciting. It felt like his style wasn't watered.
Oh no, that was awesome. I'm talking main roster.
Oh yeah, the main roster's yet to really have that.
Explode him right now.
Now moving on with SmackDown Live. SmackDown Women's Champion Naomi facing Alana again for a third title match. This one was shorter than all of the rest. Naomi
Sorry.
Defeating her, and Lana continued to push. I don't know exactly where they're going with her, but I just want to try to wrestle, and this is what they had for her. Getting a title shot, kind of being leaving Marie there. But either way, I don't know exactly. I'm going to be able to come back from it. What exactly they're going to do there? She's not going to get another title match. They already had 3. And moving forward, we're going to have Carmella cash in and being the champion. So I guess we'll talk about the match, Lana, and the women's championships situation. Mark Rambo?
The thing with Lana, that match was just very. I kind of expected it. Let me take that back. Lana just out of nowhere has been given a title shot. No, she hasn't really been proving to people that she actually belongs there and can actually wrestle. Don't get me wrong. That one time, I believe it was a couple weeks ago, Lana slammed Naomi using some type of finish. I'm assuming that's her finisher. I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, okay, maybe she's up to something. But she's done nothing after that. I mean, she just fell off of the radar to me. She just needs to go to NXT or just restart or something. I honestly thought she should have stayed at NXT and not go up to SmackDown so quickly because people know her for being Rusev's ring announcer. Now for her to be a freaking wrestler, it's kind of like, what? I don't know if that's going to work. So I don't know. It was expected, but at the same time, it was kind of disappointing.
Mm-hmm. Katrina here in the chat saying hi to everybody, and she's saying sorry she's unable to join the panel tonight, but she's saying everybody sounds great. Give the good work there.
So,
Palmer J, what are your thoughts on the segment?
Yeah, this is proof that Naomi not getting competition in the SmackDown division. I want to see Naomi play Charlotte, Becky Lynch in a triple threat. Hopefully at SummerSlam, but she needs some more competition.
Oh, she'll get it. And at some point, Charlotte will be the SmackDown Live Women's Champion. Don't worry, we'll get to that point at some point. But I think as of right now, they're just trying to delay that. And the reason is to have other women is to get in the spotlight in another way that they can. Kyron, what are your thoughts on all of it?
For one, I disagree with giving Lana a title shot, her first singles match on a pay-per-view. I did not agree with that. and she's yet impressed me. Then again, I don't think she was even really ready for these matches, which is why they were really short. Heck, the one on Tuesday was only 8 seconds. I literally timed it. So I heard it was short, so I timed it, and on my phone stopwatch, and it only went to 8 seconds. So, on the contrary, I do agree that I wish Naomi would have a better competitor, and I think that her next opponent will be Charlotte, and that'll probably be a good match. Becky, I think is gonna, like I said, I think she's gonna go into a feud with Carmella because of how both Money in the Bank matches ended. But at the same time, you don't know that Carmella might get into a feud with Naomi for all we know because of what happened on Tuesday. So I'm not sure where they're going with SmackDown Women's Division. I think that Tamina is going to train Lana, kayfabe wise, and Naomi's going to have a new challenger.
Okay, and Billy, what are your thoughts on the subject?
I think I'm getting dumber as I get older. Because I'll tell you, I really thought that Lana was going to pull out that third one. And then I watched it, the whole 8 seconds. It was less than riding a bull. And I was like, after that pinfall, they built it up so she could leave with Tamina. I just don't get the logic for the 3 matches. I get that at the pay-per-view, Naomi needed to defend the belt because the roster's so short. But holy shit. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I agree. She should have stayed in NXT. She's not very good. She can't sell very well.
Exactly.
I almost would rather have Eva Marie back in the company.
Nope.
Oh.
No.
I'll tell you why. Because the stuff she was doing before she left was amazing about how she was ducking matches.
Mm-hmm.
But at least she was better to me in the ring than Lana.
I could agree with that, actually. Thinking I could agree with it.
I know nobody likes Eva Marie. I know. I don't either. But I mean, if I had to choose, it's.
If I had to choose, I'd have seen go Renee Young. Actually, would have stepped in the ring. I think she would have done it.
Right.
No, she wanted to, especially. But anyway, the next thing, the New Day, the Usos, and the rap battle hosted by Wale.
Woo!
So this time we're going to start with Homer J. Your thoughts on the rap battle?
Segment of the night.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. I was dying laughing when the Usos brought a gang out there. But anyway, the Usos won that one. Like, y'all can say the New Day won it, but the Usos won that one with the Savage. Like, I think Jay Uso said it, but he said, "Don't get rated R like your boy Xavier Woods." Like,
that was the bar of the battle.
That was good.
Did they actually announce the New Day as winners?
Yes, they did. And they have it officially here on the WWE.com site. Yeah. All right, Mark, what are your thoughts?
Best promo, why do I keep calling it a promo? Best segment of the night by far. I mean, from what I heard, because it was a subscriber of mine who I talked to on Snapchat, and he said the New Day and the Usos have somewhat creative control over the gimmicks and their characters. So if they do, I mean, you should just give somewhat creative control to pretty much any and every wrestler there, because I feel like if some of the stuff they were saying came, straight from their head, I can only imagine how a segment could be like if it was just coming straight off their head. They didn't have to remember the script. I thought that had to be the best segment in a long time. Just perfect. And the thing was, I was not expecting them to say that because, they try to keep things like that private and, kind of keep it out of the limelight.
They nixed that. I was just going to say they nixed that part out on the WWE YouTube page, and I think whatever. So you could definitely tell from that action that it definitely was Freeverse.
I thought it was excellent. I thought it was perfect. I thought it was perfect because let's be real. If they didn't say that, I don't think the rap battle would be as talked about as it was today and right now, this whole week, probably next week, we're going to be talking about it too.
Mhm.
But the fact that they said that and brought that up, you could see in Xavier Woods' face. He was like, "Oh shit!" Like, "Oh."
Yeah, he was like, "Damn, you went there." He had that look on his face, like he went there.
Big
Seriously,
E was
he went there.
laughing.
Exactly. He was like, "Oh, we're gonna go there." Okay.
It was like Kofi was the last one to notice. Like he was the last one for it to register in his brain, and then he kind of had that shot.
Exactly. It was an excellent move on the Usos' behalf. I thought
While A's freaking out in the middle of the ring.
Exactly. I think they had that perfectly set up. And then the little gangs and stuff, the little groups. I think the Usos' entrance was actually really cool, but it was funny at the same time because like they took it so serious as if this was like legit. But that was perfect. That was perfect. I couldn't ask for a better rap battle than that in WWE.
Before we go to Kyron, I'm going back to the live chat. Daniel Price with some comments here. It's pretty long ones, actually. The G1 special is miles ahead of anything Vince has done in years. New Japan has always produced great wrestlers and shows. If you have never seen Great Muta, watch him. New Japan tells their stories with actual wrestling, whereas Vince uses clown shoes garbage. Get the booker for New Japan. Grew up watching Southern Brawl style wrestling like NWA and Memphis. And then he was saying, when we were talking about Eva Marie, he said, "Oh no, hell no, Eva Marie is a dumpster fire." Xavier and his boys better stick to trombone because they can't spit rhymes worth of shit. They need to leave rap alone. They pleaded their hip hop cases, but they need to go on. They need to go on somewhere before their Natty Sticky gets his big ass in their faces. So he's kind of just.
Did you guys hear this one? So after the G1 thing, I don't know if you guys had heard this. The G1 thing happened. It was so successful in Los Angeles that they are opening an office in Los Angeles for New Japan, and they're opening a dojo in Los Angeles.
I heard about that.
You want to know something crazy too? I heard that TNT is planning on trying to get a TV deal with New Japan.
Yeah.
For so they could be shown in America.
I can tell you. I'll make this statement, and I just want to know what you guys think. If they get a TV deal and it's actually shown at a decent time, fucking WWE could be in trouble.
Exactly.
No, they won't.
You'd be surprised, Kyron. You'd be surprised.
It's for their car because they actually would. Oh, go ahead, Kyron.
Sorry, but it's not for the reason. It's not because they have the history, but not in America. Americanizing New Japan would just make it pointless. I don't think the American crowds will gravitate to New Japan for it to compete with WWE because while New Japan caters to the hardcore fan base and has great pure wrestling, the casual fan base won't gravitate to it. That's the problem. It's not like I said, it's not in ring work because it's obvious they outshine WWE there. But when it comes to at times storytelling, I mean I don't watch New Japan, so I'm just going off what I've heard. And the fact that the crowds aren't always alive because I heard like they start the first few minutes of the match silent and then they get louder. I don't think casual fans can gravitate towards that. So even if they get a good TV deal, if they Americanize it, it's going to make it pointless. And I just don't think American crowds are going to gravitate to it. And they don't want to compete with WWE. They are the WWE of Japan. They don't need to compete. If they compete, I think it's pointless. So just let New Japan do what they do and not try to compete. Let WWE do what they do. I think competing would be pointless.
I mean, it could be worse. You could be Global Force Wrestling. No, I understand the point for sure. My thing is, you're right on the casual fan, but again, it's word of mouth too, right? I mean, if that takes off, it could take them a while, but yeah, man, I tell everybody, if you're missing it, you're missing it. Like, it's so good right now. I apologize for the motorbike in the background. I decided to do my shows outside, right? I'm in Canada. It's not even snowing. It's almost like 90 degrees at 9 o'clock. It's amazing. I'll take it. No, but I mean, like, I'm almost like, the only reason I don't subscribe to the New Japan Network is because I don't want to translate the damn website anymore.
Exactly. The thing is, though, don't forget New Japan also, they have wrestlers. I think they're I guess you could say in connections with Ring of Honor, then connections with WCPW. They are connected with a whole bunch of indie promotions, which could give them newer stars, which American faces could be familiar with. So when they see that Matt Riddle go to New Japan, it's like, oh shit, what's this New Japan all about? They could add new faces. That could start some stuff if
they really need people watching Ring of Honor.
Exactly.
And they need a better TV deal. Because I don't know, what time is it on down there?
9.
With Ring of Honor?
Yeah.
7 or 8.
Okay. Because here they show it like a Saturday night at like 11 o'clock. It's not. It doesn't help anybody, right?
Right.
Hey, I heard CM Punk might come to New Japan.
Oh, Jesus.
I heard he's going to join the rumor has it. People saying like, oh, he's going to join the Bullet Club. I doubt.
Yeah.
I doubt.
Oh, God.
Did you guys hear that Okada was actually at SmackDown the other night?
And Raw.
And Raw, and like the gorilla position of the arena. Did you guys hear anything about that?
I heard about it. I heard he was meeting Finn and AJ and all of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually what they do. Same with Finn Balor. He always goes to see Okada. He always goes to see Tongaloa, Bad Luck Fale. Always sees his Bullet Club members, all the people he used to wrestle with.
Yeah,
so that's what Okada did.
And it's common for Okada to be backstage when he can.
Exactly. He's
done it before, so it's not anything I would, get, oh my God, he's coming. I think Okada would be the last guy to jump. The other thing, too, was Finn was going over to Japan to start recruiting. So, I mean, that could be interesting. But again, if I'm a wrestler, right, why the hell would I want to go? If you look at half these guys that come in, they're not doing anything. Like, it's, I don't know. Your name's not Roman Reigns. You ain't winning that title.
Or Brock Lesnar.
Man, you know what makes me mad? I don't know about you guys, but look at that roster up and down, okay? They are loaded with so much talent, and they do nothing with any of them. It's insane.
I couldn't agree more with that.
God, it drives me nuts. Like, Fonzie Balor, get him out of here. Like, you need to – we haven't seen – looks like the Fonz, man. It's terrible. And what's he doing now? He went from winning the Universal title, he got injured, he comes back, and he's literally done nothing. He's just floating along week by week.
Feuding with the Drifter.
Put him with Gallows and Anderson already. Like, three guys doing nothing. I don't know. It drives me nuts just watching that stuff. I don't know what you guys think, but yeah, it's insane.
I agree for sure. I wanted to get here to Daniel Price, another comment here, but this one specifically to Kyron. I mentioned him here. He's saying the problem with that, Kyron, is that Vince needs competition. When WCW was kicking Vince's ass for 2 years, the Attitude Era was born and WWF was created. Now he has a monopoly and scripts are garbage.
I'm not, I 100% agree with that. I agree that, and that's a lot of wrestling fans think that all they need is for someone to pick them up, get some good TV ratings, get someone money, and all of a sudden, and after a year or two, and they start doing good and they compete with Vince, then you can have another Monday Night War. Like I said, there's a few problems with that. One, they're not. How are they going to find someone with enough money or money or advertising to promote this company? Like Ted Turner was the last person that had that money. He ain't getting back into the wrestling business. So I agree that they need more competition. Who's going to compete? World Sports Wrestling? No. Ring of Honor? No. Lucha Underground? No. They all cater to a specific type of wrestling. Ring of Honor, the hardcore. Lucha Underground, Lucha Libre. GBF, the store-bought alternative to WWE. And while New Japan, like I said, it has the talent and history, which is something a company needs. I don't think Americanizing it would help. And like I said, casual fans who at times that's who matters the most, because I feel like at times WWE doesn't cater to us, the hardcore fans, because they know we're gonna be there. For like WrestleMania was the prime example. That was not for us. That was for the casual fans. That's why they had Goldberg and Lesnar for the title. And why I disagree with that, I understood. So, like I said, it comes down to this: if New Japan is really the only company that has a chance, but they shouldn't. I don't think they should. Let them be the WWE of Japan. They and let WWE do what they do. I think that because if by some miracle this does happen and they do start competing, what happens is whoever wins, someone's wrestling's gonna take a gigantic hit if someone actually goes out of business. So I disagree with doing with New Japan trying to compete. Plus, they're not going to. They don't want to.
Right, and then this comment from Daniel Price, this time directed to Billy. It's specifically saying at Lazy, but to Billy of Lazy Booking Podcast. Use so many people. They have an embarrassment of riches and not what to do with it.
I agree, 1,000%. It's almost disgusting to watch what some of these guys do. Like, you know, even Zack Ryder's a good wrestler, and he's just never. I don't know. It's Galvin Anderson is a perfect example of, you know, you were the best in Japan.
They need to
They're
go
an
back.
absolute joke.
They
Exactly.
need to go back.
And I've been harping about it for months, how much it made me mad that they were doing this. But you're going to give, you know, oh, God. It just drives me insane. Like, you know, and then now they're dismantling all their tag teams. So what do you do? I don't know.
And now you have the Miz Taraj technically beating another tag team there in the Raw division. With
Bo Dallas looks like Mr. Miyagi.
Bo Dallas looks like he wants to join a biker gang.
But he does look like Bray Wyatt more and more every day.
Exactly.
Yes.
Crazy.
And getting back to the final piece of SmackDown Live, the grand finale, the main event, AJ Styles winning the Independence Day Battle Royal to the ground officially, the number one contender to Kevin Owens in his United States Championship of the AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens at WWE Battleground SmackDown Live exclusive pay-per-view event coming up here late in July. We get your thoughts on the Independence Day Battle Royal. We'll start with our guest.
One thing quick before I just want to mention the rap battle.
Okay.
Did you guys notice that they spoke of Big E's dad, who is estranged from Big E?
Yeah.
So it started with that. Then it came out with the comment about Xavier Woods, and at the end, they were only famous because his wife was on Total Divas. Amazing through and through. Continue.
I didn't get a chance to give you my piece on what I thought about it yet.
Okay.
Like I said, it's like I said Tuesday. As a Battle Rap fan, you know you love the reference of having an entourage behind you. Don DeMarco, you're gonna get this word, and slow it down. So you know you catch that stuff as someone who watches a lot of Battle Rap. But like I said, if I had to rate this on Battle Rap, Usos got the first 2 rounds and New Day got the third, only because Usos didn't get the rap. And the only reason they gave it to the New Day because Usos got disqualified because you can't hit in a Battle Rap. Obviously, we all know the best bar was when they said you don't beat Radar like your boy Xavier Woods. That had me on the floor. Like there was some really good haymakers from both teams. But if you ask me when it comes to New Day, the only person who I thought had good bars was Xavier. He had the you know, you only pop look at your wife put you on Total Divas, and you know, the only thing you guys can go back to is carrying bags for Roman. Those 2 bars from Xavier saved the New Day if you actually get a possible 3-0. But the Usos, they had easily the best bars of the entire battle. It was the segment of the night, and maybe the best segment of the year so far.
I agree. And Karen, to touch on what you just said, the reason that made that so perfect is when they said the rated R bit about Xavier was the entire crowd knew exactly what they were talking about.
Exactly.
Oh man, it was perfect.
And I was worried they might not. Like I was worried it would just fall on deaf ears and be, you know, hearing crickets or something.
Yeah.
Oh. People know what he's talking about because people are perverts. They're gonna go look for that.
Well, there you go. Right? But anyways, throwing it to Billy over there, I guess, your thoughts on the Independence Day Battle Royal and now AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens for the U.S. title.
Oh, it had some good parts to it. You know, obviously it showed you Mojo and Zack Ryder, obviously teasing what's going on there. You know, overall with the Battle Royal, I just think that it was, you know, I thought it was expected that AJ was going to win. You know, once you got down to who was left, like Sami Zayn, and you kind of knew. But, hey, if you're going to give us AJ Styles, Kevin Owens at Battleground, I'm all for that.
All right. Mark Rambo.
Yeah, like I said, First things first. I'm a big AJ Styles fan out of the way, so anytime he's getting the title shot, I will automatically root for him. I'm a big fan of Kevin Owens as well. I really don't care who wins because I like both of them, but of course I'm going for AJ Styles. I think the next person who should get a title shot though is Sami Zayn. I don't know if anybody said that again. I've said that already, but
you know what? I
Sami
agree with
Zayn,
that for sure.
Sami Zayn is just been. He deserved the title shot a long time ago.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's just been thrown around. He's been thrown in these weak matches, these matches with jobbers. He's not a jobber. He's just been booked wrong. He's been booked like
he's moving on to Mike Bennett and Maria.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
what I was going to say. That's where it's going to go for him.
You know, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Some of their segments are pretty funny to me, but that's not where Sami Zayn belongs. He belongs in the title picture. That man has been everywhere across the country. He deserves it ASAP.
So here's the problem we always run in, or WWE always runs in, and we as fan bases run in with our conversations here, again, agreeing or disagreeing, of superstars that we think that should be getting title matches, getting pushes, and this and that. But they have so many on the rosters. Billy was pointing out how stacked it is and how they should be used, getting them and actually use them in the positive way and building them up and having storylines for them and something for the shows. And, you know, it could be a rock and a hard place sometimes, but just, you know, who are we going to push? Like, is it Zack Ryder, Mojo Rawley? You know, when they have that split up, who's going to begin to push? Should it be Zack? Or he's the veteran, or should it be Mojo, the new guy who's friends with Gronk, who is friends with Triple H and Stephanie? You know what I mean?
I think they'll pump the tires of Mojo because he won the Battle Royal. That would be common sense, I would think.
Yeah, but you just never know with WWE which way they go.
That's very true.
So, but it's certainly going to be interesting to see where that does go down the line, because it's just one of those, like for me, for my boy, I'm a fan of Dean Ambrose, the Lunatic Fringe himself. You know, as we finally get to when we get to the pay-per-view predictions here. You know, I want him to win the title, but I don't think logically that's going to be happening.
He's going to be on a street corner selling that Big Baller brand. Fuck. What an atrocious. You know, and the worst segment in the history when you talk about segments. Oh.
And that was off the heels of the This Is Your Life with Bailey and Alexa Bliss.
Nothing will ever be that LeVar Ball segment will never be as bad as that This Is Your Life segment.
I don't know, man. I feel like, so here's what I think about it. It's like, I feel like at least with that, they were trying to accomplish something, whereas the LeVar thing was just an absolute gong show.
But the LeVar thing was actually entertaining, something that the This Is Your Life segment was not.
And shout out to his son for, you know, not giving any fucks and dropping racism on live TV.
Thanks a lot.
Oh, God, are you serious?
That's why the only ball son I really like is Lonzo. He's the most quiet one of all of them. And he's the best player.
The youngest one is?
No, the oldest one, Lonzo.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he get booed when he came out?
Yep. I didn't catch that.
I thought he did. In his own stadium. Awesome. Oh, God.
Don't worry. Next offseason, the Lakers are going to try to become Showtime.
Oh,
we're trying to get some free agents next summer then, the NBA free agency.
They got that cap money. It's good.
Yeah, get that money. But anyways, let's move on from SmackDown Live to Monday Night Raw. We'll just briefly let everybody give their points and whatever else they want to speak of from Monday Night Raw. So let's start with Mark Rambo. Anything and everything that you want to bring up for about Raw?
If this is true, the broken Hardys may return pretty soon. Jeff Hardy put up a date on Twitter. It was 7/17/2017.
I saw that.
What date was it?
7/17/2017.
And that's all the tweet was, eh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And people are believing that that's probably the time that, you know, the broken gimmick is coming back. I honestly can't wait. I just want to see the elite chance.
It's so conflicting because I was reading something that they're not even close.
That's the thing, because Matt Hardy tweeted out something saying, thank you for supporting the House Hardy. We're almost close for ending this war or something like that. It was like hashtag broken or something. I don't know.
I think this one's going to be a wait and see, guys.
Right.
I mean, I want it to happen, and I think you guys all do too, because the Hardys as themselves isn't working for me.
Considering where they're at right now, it's not working.
No, we need a final deletion again. Better than that House of Horrors nonsense.
But the problem if they do the final deletion, I think unless WWE gives Matt and Jeff complete creative control over the broken gimmick, is gonna fail. Because if they do if WWE controls it, we're gonna get something like the stuff at the House of Horrors where they took it so seriously. It was bad. The thing about the final deletion, which is why I didn't like it the first time I saw it, because I was unfamiliar with the broken gimmick in general, is it was so stupid and hammy that I didn't like it. But once I realized, all right, this is what Broken Matt Hardy is, so I'm going to watch it again, I actually really enjoyed it because I had to understand it's not to be taken seriously. This is the problem with Bray Wyatt. He takes himself so seriously that he starts to bore you. If Bray Wyatt was like Broken Matt Hardy, where the stuff he says is not to be taken seriously and it's just lighthearted and stupid, then he'd be the most over person in WWE probably. But that's the problem, and that's why I'm afraid that if the broken gimmick does come to WWE, it's going to fail. And a part of me feels like, just like I keep bringing up, and I hate doing this, because I know all fans matter, that the casual fans who don't know anything about anything outside WWE won't know. They'll be like, why is the Hardy Boys doing this retarded stuff? That's what I'm afraid of.
And when you show up to a House of Horrors match in a limo, you know it's going to fail.
Oh, that match is terrible. Second worst.
We're talking, and that's the thing, right? Like, you're talking common sense, and it's like, okay, you have a pitch black match. You're coming back to an arena that's in San Jose. That's like my house right now. It's daytime. Like, use logic. Like, it didn't work, and I don't know. He got beat by a fridge. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
But as soon as that limo pulled up, Kieran, I was just like, oh, this is going down south real quick.
I mean, I wasn't looking forward to it in general because I haven't liked a single Bray Wyatt Randy Orton match. And the only part of that feud that I ever liked was Randy setting the house on fire. I thought that was pretty good. But the match of WrestleMania fell flat. The match they had back in No Mercy, if anyone remembers it, wasn't very good besides Luke Harper coming back. And the House of Horrors match was, for me personally, the second worst pay-per-view match of the year. Only second to the Kendall sitting on the pole match.
Yeah, the kendo stick on a pole. Oh boy.
That Kendall stick on a pole match. And my review of that match, it was actually one of the better Kyron Chase tirades in ranks. And just check the Extreme Rules review on my channel. It was actually one of my better tirades.
Yeah, I did hear that. That's something to get into. But I really want to bring up a hotspot question since we're talking about, or kind of in a way, we were talking about that match. What are your guys' thoughts on Bayley and how she's been booked, and where do you think she's going to be going, and what's going on heading into WWE SummerSlam 2017? We'll start with the Mr. Headshaker over there himself, Billy.
I don't even know who she is anymore. Like, I just don't care about her. You know, I had made a very bold statement on a show that after coming out of NXT and seeing her come up, once she got to the mainstream audience, and a lot of the mainstream audience now is kids, right? You see it at house shows and everything like that. A lot of it's kids that are watching it. And while there's a big jump, it's like kids. There's no middle age. It's literally adults after. Like, the gap's insane, but I said that she would probably be the highest selling women's merch person ever. And I retract it because she's just terrible now. Like, you would have thought that at Extreme Rules, she would have at least brought out a mean streak. Like, her gimmick is starting to fail. And she's acknowledged it even on the Steve Austin show that she considered going heel. What was the other thing she said? This just came out, actually. She just did the podcast. So it was like she was considering going heel. She wants to make some changes. So it's looking like she knows that she's failing and wants to change it. But I don't buy the gimmick anymore, and honestly, I'm all about that Alexa train, man.
Exactly, there you go, Alexa all the way. I know they even showed that was a Twitter post, Instagram post of that Bailey superfan wearing Alexa Bliss gear.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool too. But excuse me, Alexa Bliss. I enjoyed her, and obviously I enjoyed Carmella too. But
She's
Alexa
warming
Bliss
up the belt for Nia.
Yeah, sadly.
No, I love Nia Jax. Come on, man.
Well, Jay would love to hear that. Jay from Talking WWE with Jay, he's a big Nia Jax fan. He even made a bet on our show over there, again, Talking WWE with Jay, that when Nia Jax, whenever she would get that one-on-one opportunity, she's going to win the belt in her first attempt. He has that bet with our other co-host, Stephen A. When that happens, that might be happening at SummerSlam. We might have Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, one-on-one for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. But I don't know if I see Nia Jax getting the belt right then. If that was going to be the case, maybe you have Nia Jax actually win that gauntlet match. Like, I actually was a little bit legit upset that Sasha Banks actually won that thing. And then Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss at Battleground, Nia Jax win there, have a rematch at SummerSlam. And then if you want to try to build Bailey back up, because I think, again, like I was sitting back with the whole Carmella situation of WWE, that's their plan all along. I think in this situation, I was the same way, only sitting back thinking WWE's plan all along is to book Bailey this way, get fan reaction, and at some point, actually have her turning heel. She's the one turning heel, not Sasha Banks. Everybody thought was going to be the one turning heel in that situation, and we're actually going to, and maybe still have that match at WrestleMania, not SummerSlam. Maybe just something else with Bailey for SummerSlam, but have that one-on-one match at WrestleMania New Orleans, which hopefully I and all of you here will be able to be there in attendance for. And have that match there at WrestleMania, and by that time, hopefully, Bailey's character will be back on track.
Well, it's like we were talking, you know. You go down that list of anybody who's come up from NXT in the last couple of years. Ty Dillinger should be on a milk carton. You can't find him anywhere. American Alpha seemingly split up for no reason. Like, it just Bailey, she's another lost cause. It just seems like, you know, Alexa Bliss, Kevin Owens, and who's the other one? Samoa Joe seem to be the top three that come out of there so far.
The Shield too. I think the Shield, they all three of them have done good too. But for Bailey, for me personally, everyone knows how angry I was, especially being there in person and seeing that match. I have decided to come to this term about Bailey. The woman that I loved in NXT, that battled Sasha in the 30-minute Iron Man match, that had my favorite match in 2015 in Brooklyn, no longer exists. So this is how it is for me. Cause I'm sick of losing the little bit of hair I have every time WWE screws her up. I knew it was gonna happen. I knew WWE was gonna screw her up. That's why I was dreading her going to the main roster. So the way I see it is this: from this point on, until WWE doing something right, this Bailey I see, who's afraid of a stick, is not the woman that was in NXT. That's my final judgment on it. So I'm not gonna get angry anymore.
Yeah, good point.
There you go.
I'll start looking at it that way, Kieran.
What's that?
I said I'll start looking at it that way too. You make a valid point on that.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody else have anything else they want to bring up that happened on Raw before we get into the pay-per-view?
Does Bailey actually have a match on Sunday?
No.
Holy shit.
She's done.
Oh, not on the card.
Wow.
Rest in peace, Bailey.
I can tell you that I had a very good sleep during Raw on Monday.
Moment of silence for Bailey's character.
Yeah, really, eh? See if I got any water in here. Pour one out for her. Jeez. It just drives me insane to watch that. And Balor's not even on the card on Sunday. I mean, I guess if you had filler, you could throw him in with the Drifter. But again, Balor was the guy you were building on, won the Universal title, and, you know.
Yeah, now he's not on the card, yeah.
He's just floating. Like, that's what I was saying. Put him with the club already, because people have talked about it for months.
And yet, Jinder Mahal is there to be champion. Finn Balor is not even on the next pay-per-view.
Karen, I will never crap on Jinder Mahal being the champion. I can't. It has nothing to do with him being from Canada. I think the biggest thing for me was the longest time everyone complained about making new stars. Sure, his record sucks, but they're building somebody up. That's the positive I take away from it. And I think he's doing well as champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with that.
I know some people that are just fueled with hate about it, and it's just like, man, if you don't see, like, I get the whole India thing. Mark, was it you that mentioned that?
About what? The Indian?
Yeah, about the
Indian market.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess the thing was they hired a new guy to run India, and then their sales, there's so many bloody people in India, but the problem is they're not buying any merch.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that they want to push it. And you know what? I'm all for it. It's business, right? They want to make as much money as they can. But, like, I'm not disappointed with his reign so far. I want to see it keep going. So, you know, I just wish that when they had characters that are from a Middle Eastern descent, that they don't push the I hate America garbage. You know, They keep doing it, and I don't like it.
I hate that.
Yeah. It's like, why do you keep going back? Well, it can't be any worse. Do you guys remember Muhammad Hassan?
Yes.
Yes.
When they brought out the mass terrorists? That was
worst.
I actually like Muhammad Hassan gimmick at first because when you're a little kid like I was, I just booed him because I booed every heel and cheered every baby face. But looking at him now as a 17-year-old, I like Muhammad Hassan at first because he was bringing up real points. Why should all Arab Americans and people who are Islamic be villainized because of what happened in 9/11? He said, I'm just a good American, just like everyone else. And, and they pushed him as a heel for some reason. But then once he got into the Undertaker and brought the terrorist group out, that ruined everything. And it cost him his career.
Best spot he ever had was at WrestleMania when Hogan came out to save Eugene.
Yep, I agree.
But I love the character. I just don't know why they keep pushing that
anti-American shtick.
Yeah, like it's the same thing goes with Rusev. It's like, why do you need to go there? You don't. Like, you just get away from it.
Yeah, he comes back and now we're having a flag match with USA against Bulgaria. So,
and the worst part about it was I honestly thought they were going to book it for Tuesday night, and I was like, oh God, don't book it for Tuesday, because if they booked it that night, Cena was definitely going over.
Oh yeah.
You're not having the fucking American lose on Independence Day.
No.
Get out. Oh.
All right, I really want to post here from the live chat, Daniel Price, again to Billy. Oh, you're going to love this. Vince is going to have everyone that was part of that fatal five-way to face Lesnar individually for the title, and it's decided to remove Balor from that equation.
And I'm going to comment on this because I've heard that it's going to be everybody gets fed to Lesnar except for
Roman.
Balor. Apparently they changed their mind and they're not going to put Balor in there. At this point, he's going to go mid-card. Oh, that's the latest that I heard on it. I don't know if anyone's heard different, but I heard that it was going to be, they're going to feed everybody to Lesnar, and then they're not going to give him Balor. What? You built it up with Heyman in the ring.
Yeah, and he was supposed to be the odds-on favorite.
I could be wrong, but that was the latest I heard. I think I'm quoting WrestleZone on that. I think there was an article on there.
I think that's on it too, but I don't know whether they're holding that off for later or whatever, or for Brock Lesnar should drop the title and have Balor versus Roman for the WWE Universal Championship. I don't know what, but maybe that's the thing. They want to hold Finn off, and maybe this is being a special thing for him being removed from that plan than a demotion. You know what I mean?
Like, Balor's gimmick though has always been paint. No matter where he's been, he'll dress up as the Joker or whatever. We haven't seen the Demon once.
SummerSlam.
Is he even going to be on the card at this point? Like, I don't even know.
No, I mean, he was the Demon at SummerSlam. But since
Last
we haven't seen it. At SummerSlam, he was the Demon, but since
no. But since he came back, we haven't seen it.
Yeah, I was kind of disappointed.
Fonzie every week.
Extreme Rules, I was disappointed he wasn't a Demon because, I was there and I want to see the Demon in person. But then I heard something Christian Miracle said that I kind of agree with. What if they, like, in NXT, they only say the Demon for when he really need that big takeovers? What if on the main roster, you only see the Demon at the Big Four?
I wish they'd give him Lesnar and then Lesnar like dummies him a few times leading up to it, and then he brings out the demon when no one's expecting it.
That'd be perfect.
But I feel like if you did that, then you have to make him beat Lesnar. I don't know.
They won't do that.
God, I want Lesnar to lose this Sunday.
See, that's why I think they're just holding Finn Balor off, because they don't want to have Finn Balor be the one to defeat Lesnar, because that's supposed to go to someone special. So they have that for Roman Reigns, the guy they're still pushing anyways. If Roman Reigns defeat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, so you see maybe Brock holding the title all the way to there, or to SummerSlam, whatever, whenever they had that match, whatever. Then, at some point in the future, then you have Finn Balor, Roman Reigns in the future of the Universal title. So maybe that's just how that's going to go moving forward.
Well, it looks like they're pushing up the WrestleMania plans, so.
But anyway, let's talk about WWE Great Balls of Fire. Finally, here we're giving our predictions here for Great Balls of Fire. That'll be on Sunday.
What hashtag you guys using this Sunday?
I already used my prediction video. Hashtag WWE Balls.
Yes.
I already used my prediction video. I usually try to stay like a positive person, but you're gonna call it Great Balls of Fire, and I already started hashtag before in WWE. I'm using hashtag WWE Balls, not GBOF, but hashtag WWE Balls.
The guy who wrote the song was having intercourse with his cousin. Need I say more, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, Jerry Lee Lewis? Yeah, look him up, man.
Oh, Google search.
Oh, Google search. It's a wonderful thing. They made a movie about
Jerry Lee.
Google is your best friend.
Lewis.
It was
There you go, Mark.
There was some incest shit there.
Cousin.
Wow.
It ended up being his wife or something. It was insane. They made a movie about it. And,
What's the name? What is the name of the movie? Just simply Jerry Lee Lewis?
I think it might be Great Balls of Fire, to be honest with you.
Oh.
I think so. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know.
Well, maybe knowing that WWE should have thought about having this be the name of their pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think it is called Great Balls of Fire. Yep.
There you go.
It's called Great Balls of Fire.
I'm probably the old guy here, so I remember this movie.
I'm 17. I have no idea.
Oh, well, yeah, no, that's definitely before your time, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm young myself.
Oh yeah, you can. And then, like, as soon as they announced it and actually got the rights to this song, I was just like, face palm for sure. I was like, you kidding me?
Yes.
But of all things, guys, you could name a pay-per-view, and then you basically have male genitalia as the logo.
Yeah, penis.
Amazing.
Oh god, they didn't even really change it. It still looks like a penis now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and can I just say one thing about Raw? I forgot to mention. I have never in my life seen the word balls used so many times in an episode.
Oh, this should be a drinking game this Sunday. Take a shot.
Oh my God, no.
For Sunday.
You know what? I might actually. You know what? I might actually do that. I'll be done within an hour, and I'll wake up and not even know what happened.
Blackout.
It's unbelievable. I mean, the card's good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The card's going to be decent, but I will never take this pay-per-view seriously as far as naming, logos.
So, I couldn't agree more with that.
I literally thought that McMahon was trolling everybody.
When I heard that, when I read on Bleacher Report and What Culture that they had a rumor pay-per-view Great Balls of Fire, I said, "Stop playing with me. It's obviously trolling. This isn't real." Then at Extreme Rules, and I hear, mind you, I'm sitting on the side of Titantron, so I can't really see. I just hear, "Goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire." I said, "You gotta be kidding me. You're not. This isn't real."
Yep.
It's real life. It's real life.
I don't want it to be real life, Steve. But you know what? It's like, I thought it was a troll job to the announcers because you know how many times they build up a pay-per-view and talk about the name? I thought for sure it was a troll job on them. But no, it was like, oh my God. You know what's bad? When the wrestlers are making fun of it.
Wait, what wrestler made fun of it?
Who's made fun of it? Big E on Twitter. I think Sasha Banks did. Kevin Owens did on Talking Smack.
You know he is. He's Kevin Owens.
Oh, like I just when those guys, like when you have your own wrestlers not taking it seriously, you may want to rethink that strategy next year.
AJ Styles was in the middle. AJ Styles was in the middle of the interview. Interviewer asks, "What do you think of the pay-per-view name coming up? Going to be Great Balls of Fire?" And he looks at him and goes, "There's really going to be a pay-per-view called Great Balls of Fire?"
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Here's what I'd like to know. If I would like to be a fly on the wall when they had that meeting.
Same here.
Like, this has got to be all Vince.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Just think of how all of us here that are panel here tonight on the show and had us in that meeting, and we hear that for the first time being brought up or being pitched to Vince McMahon, to that being the name of the pay-per-view, to take the place of Bad Blood for whatever reason they don't want to use it. And then
the promo's hilarious. The promo's hilarious. Samoa Joe's diner. You have like Valor Club, and then the girls' heads are freaking out in the corner. It's like, what? He's not even going to be on the card.
Probably Kevin Dunn who came up with it.
Let's run down this card, boys.
Yes, sir. Let's finally get to it here. Let's start with the pre-show match. Or what probably might be the pre-show match. I don't know for sure if it is, but whatever. Enzo Amore versus Big Cass, one-on-one after Big Cass turning heel twice. It was so nice. It was so nice they decided to do it twice. So he's turning heel on Enzo, and now they're having the one-on-one match here at Great Balls of Fire on Sunday.
Is that legit pre-show?
I'm assuming. Let me check here. I'm going to actually technically is a pre-show.
Does anyone know? Because I have no idea.
No. Hold on. I got it here. The actual pre-show. So we'll actually start with the pre-show. The WWE Cruiserweight Championship match, Neville versus Akira Tozawa, is going to be the kickoff match. So let's start with predictions for the Cruiserweight Championship match. I'll start with Palmer J. What's your prediction? Who do you think is going to win?
Well, I have zero care about the Cruiserweight division.
All right.
I think it should end by next year. Because when you look at the matches, you can see the audience having zero care about the match. But anyway, I got Neville winning.
All right, Mark Rambo.
I got Akira Tozawa winning this one. Neville, I think is gonna. He's not gonna have the belt as long. I see this whole Titus brand thing definitely taking off pretty soon. I don't know why. I got like a strange feeling that the Titus brand is gonna. It's probably a stupid idea, and people didn't like it at first. But it was same with the New Day. People didn't like the New Day at first. I think people are just gonna have to grow to like the Titus brand. I got Akira Tozawa winning this one. I think it's gonna be a good match. I'm just sick and tired of the Akira Tozawa guy keep yelling out "ha ha" all the time. It's so annoying. But I got Akira Tozawa winning this one.
All right, Kyron Chase.
Neville, he should hold the title forever.
Whoa.
And that's not a joke. I'm not joking when I say that. Neville is one of the best things, not just in the cruiserweight. He's not just the best thing in cruiserweight. He's for me, one of the best things in WWE. He should hold that title forever.
All right. Well, then I guess he'll never lose it. Well, there we go.
Hey, guys. Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I'm sorry to change the topic real quick. I was just busy looking at my research real quick. So this guy, Great Balls of Fire, Jerry Lee Lewis, was married to a 13-year-old?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
And he was related to her.
No.
I need to take a second.
I didn't know that either.
Right back. I need to take a second to compose myself.
That would have to be something that I'd have to ask like my parents or something to know they knew of that story, because I'm 29, so
that movie came out in like the 90s because it had like Winona Ryder in it, like early on in her career. She played like the 13-year-old.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah, it was pretty disturbing shit, man. Like it was, it basically ruined his career. It was a mess. I remember watching it because it was like, oh, cool, a biopic movie. And then it was like, oh, shit, I didn't realize he did this. That's not to get it confused with Jerry Lewis, who does his telethon, or he used to. They're two different people. For the longest time, I had no idea I thought they were the same person. But yeah, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Out of all things you could do, you pick that.
Yeah, that's pretty foul.
But I think they picked it based on a lot of people not knowing because the crowd's younger.
Mhm.
But
And
it
just
was
for the
like,
fun factor of the song and the whatever and playing that and whatever.
I was like, oh man, it was like for a publicly traded company, it was like you maybe should have picked something better. I don't know. Oh man, what a mess! I just hope this pay-per-view goes away as a one and done.
It will be. They keep saying the first. They keep saying the first ever Great Balls of Fire. No, the only Great Balls of Fire. You wouldn't be. Oh my God, they are stupid. I was gonna say they're gonna be the stupid to pull this crap again twice, and they probably would.
Yeah, you. I don't think you see it again after everyone making fun of it. I just don't. I
Well,
can't.
remember this. When you told everyone making fun of it, everyone makes fun of Roman Reigns, and yet he's still the number one.
That's a very good point. I'm defeated again. That's a good point. It's insane, and you could talk about Roman Reigns for hours, and I don't think the debate would ever end.
I don't hate him. I don't hate him anything, but I will make jokes about him.
I don't hate him either. It's insane that but I don't want him champion. I don't want this push they're giving him.
I champion over Lesnar. Over Lesnar, I would take that if Roman took that title off Lesnar. I would honestly take that, and I would be happy about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, being at WrestleMania 31 and watching that match, it was amazing.
Yep.
Even in the crowd, it was an amazing match that they put together. And it was like Roman has really good matches, but, you oversaturate people with it, and they're going to shit all over you, and that's what they're doing.
Oh, here. All right. Excuse me, Daniel Price again, talking since we were talking about the thing of the song. If you like that, you'll love that Vince McMahon wanted to book himself as a father of his own grandchild, but Stephanie said no, then he asked her, what about Shane?
I already knew about that, so I'm not even going to throw up.
That was for this year?
No,
he's in the past.
Oh, God. I think I heard that, too. Awful.
I did.
But anyways, moving on, Billy, your turn. Your prediction there for the Cruiserweight Championship match, Neville versus Tozawa.
Well, I feel really bad for 205 Live. And that's for the simple fact of they're in a really shitty spot. They need to be on before SmackDown. I don't care if it's pre-show stuff before SmackDown starts. They're just in the bad spot, and that's why no one watches it. I like the division personally. I don't like them changing the ropes in commercial breaks and stuff. Like if you've been to a live event like a Raw or anything, you see it happening. It's awful. They don't need to be doing it. Leave them on 205. It can be a good division. You could take a guy like Enzo and put him in there after he's done with Cass.
Definitely.
I just feel like I'm gonna go with Kieran on this and say, you know what? Neville's gonna win. That's one guy I forgot about, man, of NXT that has done really well. But you had to turn him heel first, which he's been amazing. I don't think Tozawa is going to win. I mean, I think maybe he wins eventually, but not on Sunday.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Neville as well to retain the Cruiserweight title. I just don't see Tozawa getting the win here. Maybe they continue the feud, continue into SummerSlam.
You want to know who I think beats Neville?
Who?
Aleister Black.
Okay. They in the Cruiserweight division?
I think they would.
Aleister Black.
I think he's too small to be. I think he's too small to be on the main roster, personally. But stranger things have happened. You could make an argument for Balor being on 205 Live. To be honest with you.
No.
Well, but given his weight, you could.
No.
I'm moving right along. Speaking of Enzo Amore versus Big Cass, I was saying earlier, 1-on-1. So we'll start with Mark Ramble. Who do you have winning this match and why?
I have Big Cass easily because of the simple fact that, I actually want Enzo to win, but considering the physical features of the match, I have Big Cass completely dominating Enzo just to technically end this little feud. You know, I think Big Cass in the near future, I think rumor has it they're going to try to give him a little title push, possibly. Kind of put him in the title contendership type of area. But Enzo, however, I don't know what exactly they'll do with him. They could just make him more like a Santino Marella, possibly. I don't want that to happen. But, you know, I have Big Cass in this one. I really, there's nothing much I can really say about it because it has been like the long build up like they would usually give other rivalries. So I'm gonna have to go with Big Cass.
All right, Homer J.
Yeah, I got Big Cass winning as well because you know I'm taking Big Cass seriously. You know, I wasn't really taking him seriously first when he was with Enzo, but I'm taking him very seriously. You know, he got good mic skills, and you know, like Mark, I don't really know what they're gonna do with Enzo. You know, they're probably gonna make him another James Ellsworth. I don't know.
Kyron, who do you have winning the match and why?
First off, I want to respond to what Palmer and Mark just said. How dare you say they're gonna bring Enzo down the stairs?
I know, no, this is the thing. I don't know what exactly they could do with him.
Yourself for saying something that's stupid.
No. Don't take it like that. I just don't know what they're gonna do with him, considering like he's just been like the test dummy for like because people saying he can't wrestle. You know, he I don't know what they could do with him. That's the thing.
But here's the thing, like I see what you're saying. They don't know what to do with him, but one thing he has over those two is great mic skills, and I think they can use him as a commentator or something. But I wouldn't want him to just become a jobber. But anyway, who's gonna win? Big Cass. I would, but I won't be surprised if Enzo won with a roll up, just continue the feud. But I've got Big Cass winning, and if they do this the way I think they might, I think he'll beat Enzo so bad he'll get carried down the stretcher.
Well, there's already an ambulance in the building.
Oh yeah,
might as well use it. All right, Billy, who do you have there? One-on-one Enzo versus Big Cass.
I'm gonna agree with everybody. It's gonna be Big Cass, and you're not gonna turn a guy heel to make him lose. And you know, honestly, and it kind of stinks too, because like those were the best promos I've seen Enzo do. So I'm a little disappointed that it's like, okay, well, you're gonna get dismantled. Cass to me is like, I feel like he's gonna be like another Nia Jackson, only this in the sense of he's going to get better over time. You know, obviously mic skills, ring work, and that's going to come over time. And if they want him to be, again, the rumor was a title run, and it certainly looks like it's going to happen. You know, you give him time, and the same with look at Baron Corbin, right? He's gotten a lot better.
Yes,
especially when they put a shirt on him. But no, like he's gotten a lot better. It's going to be the same thing, and I think that Cass is, man, he's really young. How old is he?
I looked that up.
He's like super young, so you're going to get a lot of miles out of that guy. So I mean, if you're looking to build your roster for the future, which by the way they don't do. He would be a good candidate to do that, but I think that he's going to. I think he's going to get better over time, and I think you're going to see a lot of good work out of him. Because I was enjoying his promo on Monday.
Yeah,
Big Cass is 30 years old.
That's it. Well, that's young for a wrestler. I thought he was younger than that.
I did too.
Wow, he's around my age. That's kind of cool.
I thought he was only like 25 or something. I don't know why I thought that, but. You know what would have been really cool? When Carmella won, instead of having Ellsworth jump in, have Big Cass walk out.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what I said. That would have been an awesome moment. Let kayfabe die for a moment and let Big Cass come out there.
If John Cena can be a free agent, hell, fucking anyone can show up.
Well, maybe, hey, Billy, maybe your boy Finn Balor needs that. Maybe he needs to get on pay-per-view events again.
Fonzie Balor is hopeless right now. I just want to see them do something with him. They can't keep floating.
True. Here, going back to the live chat, and those that are watching live, thanks for stopping by. You're welcome to give your predictions for the pay-per-view as we go through it slowly, piece by piece. Your himself, then Daniel Price has himself. He is going with Neville retaining the Cruiserweight title and going with this booking idea. Cass destroys Enzo, and then Big Show comes out to save Enzo to continue getting beat down and ass kicking and build up their match for the show and to put over Cass before he retires at WWE SummerSlam. So
I thought he was supposed to retire at WrestleMania.
The match
whenever he decides to hang it up.
But I'll tell you, if you guys go back and listen to Big Show on Jericho's podcast, that guy gives no fucks anymore at all, and it's incredible.
I've heard about that.
It's so good.
I need to watch that.
No, 1,000%. I'm not a huge, I don't listen to a lot of the shows, but that's a highly recommended one. And especially anything with Gallows and Anderson. Those guys are hilarious.
The greatest podcast guy of all time is still Jim Cornette. That's still the best. He's still the best.
Oh, boy. James Cornette, yeah.
Hey, Billy, you did see the Cornette there on table for 3, right?
Is it out?
It's been out.
Yes.
Okay, so for the record, guys, after the women's Money in the Bank, I hashtag canceled WWE Network. I haven't added it back. So here we don't have an app. We have a cable channel. So, yeah, it's really weird, the rights and everything. So, it's really weird. I just haven't added it back to my account. So I'll be doing that. I'll check that out. I've heard it's good, though.
Yeah.
What about the restraining order that Cornette's got on him with Russo?
He's actually selling autographed copies of that. And I'm like, I don't know. Part of me wants to actually buy it to see it.
Coming off that.
Cornette doesn't care.
Coming off that table for 3, we should have Cornette, Russo, and Bischoff together after what was said on the table for 3 with Bischoff and Cornette talking trash about Russo.
Steve, this is a PG show. They can't afford to have Russo and Cornette in the same room.
No,
there will be death.
It's legally impossible right now.
Yes, it's legally impossible anyway. They can't. They know better. If this restraining order does drop, and WWE will be stupid enough to put Cornette in the same one with Russo, so to work it out, there's a good chance Russo might be in the hospital by the end of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have just loved to see that. What I'd also like to see is Vince McMahon and Cornette. Those 3.
I heard there was talk, and I don't know. Mark, did you hear anything about this? There was talk that Vince McMahon wanted to do a table for 3.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I actually did not hear about that.
Who would you put him with? That's my guess.
Ted Turner.
Be real. They never bring Ted Turner back.
What the heck?
If I had to see who I think they're gonna put Vince with, there's gotta be people that are around him. So I would probably say Triple H. And as much as I hate saying it because I could completely hate this guy, Kevin Dunn.
Oh. Wow.
Trust me, I hate saying that, but I don't want to see Bucky Beaver teeth anywhere on Kevin. But I could actually see it
Eric
being
Bischoff.
Kevin Dunn. And Bischoff and Triple H are pretty good too.
Yeah, I can see Eric Bischoff being there.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You could have Bischoff, Heyman. I wouldn't mind that actually. And they got real
that'd be great.
And make the episode long.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with did you guys watch Vince's podcast?
Not at all. I just watched Chris Jericho's.
Russo?
So when Vince did the Stone Cold podcast,
oh yeah, that's.
I feel like it wasn't real.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it was there was so much that he could have said and didn't say, and it just I wish for a day I could just talk to Vince and pick his brain and learn things. It's
I think you try to pick Vince McMahon's brain, your brain would suffer.
Probably. Probably. I mean, like as I said on the show, my earliest memory of wrestling is when Orndorff turned on Hogan.
I was not even thought of.
There you go. So I've been watching it a long time, and it's amazing. I miss Vince McMahon, the announcer.
He's a good announcer, yeah.
What's that?
He was actually a pretty good announcer most of the time.
He was great. And then they went to Monsoon and Heenan, which by far, to me, is the greatest announcing combo ever.
Second.
Now, if you would have taken JR and Heenan together, you would have touched it.
JR and King, Heenan and Monsoon and Ventura. Those are the three best for me.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, see, with the WWE Network, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like that network's a lot of missed opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
That's an obvious one.
Like, take, for instance, Camp WWE. I loved it, but after six episodes, you knew it was canceled. A lot of their shows are canceled after like 6 episodes. It's disgusting.
I was mad WrestleMania Rewind got canceled because I was actually interested in WrestleMania Rewind. In the top 10 show, I was mad they stopped doing those two.
Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah, I like ranking. I always like ranking things, so I always enjoyed the top 10 stuff. Also, I was kind of upset when they decided to nix Renee Young's show Unfiltered. So I was enjoying that.
Did they cancel it?
Yeah, it was canceled.
I thought it was too short.
Only like 10 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. I thought it was too short. I was just like, what is this? It was good, though, for what we got out of it. They just keep canceling things and making new things. And, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a huge ride-along fan. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think
speaking of something that I'm kind of looking forward to, and you guys already know this, is next week after Raw, we finally get dropping on the WWE Network. Kurt Angle, WWE 24.
I'm going to watch that.
And I'm ready for that.
That'll be good. Those 24s are the best thing going.
WWE 24 is the best original content on that. They're really good.
Yeah, they need to keep going with that stuff.
So I've been hyped for that since they announced that, since it's a turn and all that other stuff. And they actually showed, I think it was 1 or 2 clips or whatever from it when he's meeting Vince and stuff. So
Which reminds me, what match are we on?
Well, now, as I was going to say at some point in the past, we're moving on now to the Intercontinental Championship match. The Miz against my boy, the Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose. Let's start with Palmer J. Who do you have winning this match and why?
I got Dean Ambrose winning that one. You know, to be honest with you, you know, I'm kind of tired of this feud. So, I got Dean Ambrose winning that one.
Okay, Mark Rambo?
I have The Miz winning this one. The Miz Intercontinental reign, his little IC tour, it's going to continue. He's by far last year's best IC holder. Dean Ambrose did absolutely nothing with that belt, so it would be pointless to give it back to Dean Ambrose. I got Dean, and plus he has actually has The Miz. I'm sorry. And plus The Miz has little Miz Taraj, something, you know, either Curtis Axel or Bo Dallas. They're going to be involved in this match somehow, some way. Maybe Maurice will mess them up. I really don't know. But I have The Miz winning this one.
All right, Kyron?
Well, besides Miz, before I get to who I'm going to pick, this is kind of I didn't even realize how I watched the Wrestle Talk podcast. Besides Miz's little rivalry with Cena, this feud's been going on since December.
Wow. Yep.
Now, who am I picking? Obviously, I'm picking The Miz. And The Miz Taraj is probably going to get involved. And I'm not really big on this whole Miz Taraj thing. I like it was just Miz and Maurice. I thought that was great. But because, you know, Mike and Maria Kanellis came in, they had a similar gimmick. They decided to change up Miz and Maurice. This begs the question: why are you changing up your best heel act for two people who aren't even established in WWE yet, who could probably just flop? I'm not a big fan of that. But I'm picking The Miz.
Okay. Billy, who do you have here?
Well, drop some knowledge here, but there's only been 2 Intercontinental title matches since I believe it's 2015 that have not featured The Miz and or Dean Ambrose.
Wait, what?
I am not joking.
Cool.
Since 2015, there's been 2 Intercontinental title matches that have not had The Miz or Dean Ambrose in it.
And they both involve Kevin Owens and Ryback.
Yeah, and then there was one with Ziggler. But you can imagine my excitement for this match. In all seriousness, though, it's got to be The Miz. I feel like Ambrose has really no direction right now. The Miz is killing it. He's a great heel. You know, I feel like, yeah, it's got to be The Miz. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I haven't been a fan of Ambrose in a couple of years. I mean, you know, sorry, Steve. I know you like him.
No, that's fine. Hey, to each his own. To each his own.
Well, it's exactly what the mock is on him through everybody. Cena said it. Austin said it. He's lazy. And, you know, unfortunately, it just – you know what I think it did it for me? That goddamn rope move that he uses.
Oh,
I used to love it. I actually used to like it.
Oh, man, there was a point in time he was doing it like 6 times a match and was like, I can't handle this anymore.
Yeah, even for me, you know, as a fan of him, like, why isn't this getting reversed more often since he does it so much?
No, and that's the thing. Like, there's a few matches on this card that I really am not really invested in. This is one of them. You know, The Miz wins unless somehow LeVar Ball helps him out. Helps beat Ambrose.
That would be probably.
But you will never see those guys on WWE television again. So I'm going Miz.
Keep it LaMelo.
All right, Daniel Price with his prediction for the match here in the chat. He's going with The Miz because of Dallas and Axel.
Yeah.
So Miz Raj helping out and The Miz getting it done with it.
Mm-hmm.
And Daniel's saying, I think this is to Billy, but he just said, kid, if you are tired of this feud, then you would have really hated Orton versus Cena. It went on forever.
Don't talk to me about Orton Cena. That's another one. I know it was overdone, and you know, again, the Intercontinental title. I just want them to elevate that belt to where it should be. You know, I remember growing up watching all those classic feuds, and now it's just another belt, and I hate it. And I've spoke on it a few times, and you know, it's frustrating to watch the same guys over and over. It's like, just let new people have a shot.
But when Miz and Ziggler was feuding over, especially I know Mercer when Ziggler put his career on the line, which should have been the main event of said pay-per-view, it felt big. At time, I'm like, okay, this is what they must mean when they say the Intercontinental titles to feel as big or bigger than the WWE title. This is what they meant. And ever since Miz, got that feud with Ziggler, and when he first lost the title to Ambrose, and back in December or January, whichever, it was a great match, and I was fine with it. But then they actually did Zero was Ambrose. The feud with Corbin was stupid. They had a street fight after WrestleMania instead of at WrestleMania. Then he lost the title to Miz, which was actually a really good match, and that's still going on. I've got no. I think it's gonna be a good match, but at the same time, I really don't care much for it. I'd have been more invested if they had Heath Slater this in a triple threat match.
Okay, now to the next match here. Or first, before I go to the next match, I'm going to give my – because Billy was talking about his first experience watching pro wrestling, what he remembers. Me, for some reason, my first experience with WWE and wrestling was I was watching it. Ken Shamrock, the other kid of mine. I was a big fan of his when I started to watch pro wrestling. Ken Shamrock in WWE. So that was just one of my first memories of watching WWE and pro wrestling myself.
Was it when Ken Shamrock took the chair square in the face? Do you remember that?
I can't say that I actually remember, but I know I remember it was Ken Shamrock because I was talking about it at school, waiting for the bus, and I was talking Ken Shamrock so much. As I do now, I ramble about it.
Yeah, he made a pretty good transition. But
anyways,
I also remember my biggest memory of Ken Shamrock was when he took that chair square in the face.
Yeah. The next match we're going to is a match that I've been forgetting about, back burner, not interested in. But hopefully this match makes me care about the feud again if it will continue moving forward. And then it's Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt one-on-one. I could give two craps about it. Someone's going to win. I'm going with Seth. That's my prediction. We'll start with Billy. Who do you have here? Seth versus Bray.
You got to go Seth Rollins. History has shown us that Bray Wyatt doesn't win in pay-per-view matches, and if he does, hell freezes over. What bothers me about Bray Wyatt is literally you have another character that could be the second coming of The Undertaker. And you just decide to do nothing with him. He's an absolute joke. You know, he comes out, talks a big game for 4 weeks, you get to pay-per-view and just shits the bed. Like, I just don't understand the direction with what they're doing with Bray Wyatt. I'm like, you could have that, you know, like the superpower. That's what I'm talking about. Like when you definitely can't compare him to The Undertaker, but he could be another one of those powers type deal. But you really, how do you believe in the guy?
Right.
He gets to a pay-per-view and loses, so I have to take Seth.
Palmer J.
Yeah, I got Seth Rollins winning this one. You know, I mean, it might be a few years that Bray Wyatt is gonna get his like the push that everybody wants. So I got Seth Rollins winning that one.
Well, technically, did he get that push when he became the WWE champion? So there's that push.
Well, guess how that went.
I know, but still. WWE
I know.
Do you remember that? Remember that? There's that push you wanted, so let's not talk about that anymore. But Kyron Chase, who do you have in the match?
How do you take a feud between two guys I'm a fan of and make it one of the most, you know what, not even that. The match I'm probably looking forward to the least on the main card. Not a single promo between Rollins and Wyatt has even been good. Rollins comes out and spits stuff. Heck, the reason they're fighting because of what? Rollins called Wyatt a bad name. I thought it was still when Kane and Jericho fought over coffee, but this is or Booker and Edge fought over a shampoo commercial. But they're fighting because Seth called Wyatt a bad name, so they're fighting because of that. And then Bray had a promo in the desert Monday, which probably hadn't been filmed like 9 in the morning because you know how hot it gets in Arizona, which was so boring I nearly fell asleep on the 3-minute promo. Rollins is gonna win because Bray Wyatt, he says the eater of world. No, he's the eater of pinfalls, and he don't win on pay-per-view. So it's gonna go to Bray Wyatt. I mean, Seth Rollins.
Oh, you wanted to go Bray Wyatt.
Mark Rambo.
Mark. Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so do you have Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt?
That's kind of an obvious question, I mean, obvious answer. I have Seth Rollins. This match had really an odd build up to it. It was more of like it's kind of what Kyron said. They're fighting over the fact that one another called each other names. Maybe it's just, this is like one of those type of matches that you kind of want to keep your main star relevant, but you have nothing to do with him.
It's the battle of the millennials. I had to.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. It has no point to it. It's just one of those matches. It's like a filler. Let's just say that.
Plus, you put Bray Wyatt up against Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins is just named the cover boy for 2K18. You think he's gonna lose? So,
yeah, that wouldn't make sense if he did win. I mean, if he did lose.
Although I will say this about 2K18 pretty quick. If you're gamers, avoid this game at all costs.
Why?
They've overhauled the whole thing.
Wait, what?
Really?
The whole game. So graphics, everything about the game. They've overhauled it, so that means you got to stay away from it because it's going to be crap.
Yeah, that all that stuff. Yeah, I can see that as a nightmare trying to get.
Oh man, I already pre-ordered it.
Just when you don't pre-order games, Mark. You're never supposed to pre-order games. You got boned.
Yeah, he wanted. Mark wanted that pre-order Kurt Angle.
I wanted that Kurt Angle, Steve. That's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah. To be fair on that, I pre-ordered Call of Duty on Amazon. It was half price.
Really?
Yes. If you look at it, I will tell you this right now. Because I became a Prime member and stuff like that, I don't know why. I accidentally ordered Prime. so that was my stupidity. But anyway, I get stuff in like a day.
Yeah, same here. I love having
what I found. Yeah, what I found was the game Sea of Thieves, because I'm playing the. Oh, I can't mention it. I'm playing the alpha. Sorry. I pre-ordered that. It was half price. I was like, cool. And then I noticed when they were putting out like all the new games, like Red Dead, Call of Duty, they were all half price. I was like, what is this? So I just went in and pre-ordered Call of Duty. I'm gonna buy it anyways. So yeah, they were offering half price games. I was like, oh, I don't know if it's because the new Xbox is coming out, but I'll tell you, don't buy the new Xbox either.
I'm a PlayStation. No, I don't do Xbox like that.
I have both. So I will say this: I'll recommend one thing to you guys.
Okay.
Friday the 13th.
Oh, hey, speaking of a game that you guys should play, and I've seen some gameplays, and I want to get the game myself to play it through, is Until Dawn. I don't know if you guys heard of the game Until Dawn.
Yeah,
I heard
This
about
sounds
it.
familiar.
I don't want to get it. The only game
Okay.
I'm
I'm
looking
just
for
saying, it's just, if you're into something like that or whatever, I think I know I was watching some gameplay with some of my friends here on YouTube that do gameplays. It's pretty good for it, and I certainly would want to pass that around. But one thing I want to bring up before we finally move on to the next match is
you know what's bad? You know this is the poop. You know this. Sorry, man. You know this is the poop break match when we're talking about video games.
There you go. The only one thing I want change in a video in the WWE 2K game series, which I still have all of them from PlayStation, because I'm a PlayStation guy. I've had PlayStation 1 all the way up to PS4 now, from childhood now to as an adult. But the only one thing I want to change in a WWE game is I want them to have the entrance music for freaking Royal Rumbles. That's all I want. I just want them actually to have the Titantron theme song, the number, the this, like you kind of have on TV. You know, you try to make it as real as you can, right? I know it can't be real, obviously, because it's a video game. But with that experience and the technology they have one of these years they should have and be able to do that. That's the one thing out of everything that could change and all the ins and outs and deep innards of gaming and stuff like that. But the one thing I want is that. For years and years I've been talking and harping on this show and otherwise on Twitter. That's just one change I want. I want actual just for the Royal Rumble and you're playing the game.
I could see it if you were doing single player, because you could do a cutscene and kind of pause the game. With multiplayer, it's impossible. Just because there's other people in the ring, right? Unless, I mean, I guess you could pull it off, but no, I totally understand what you're saying. I love the fact that people create wrestlers for you, and you don't have to do it. You can just download it for free. How great is that?
Go into that piggy bank.
I don't mess with wrestling games anymore. The only games I'm looking for the only games I'm looking for is your Sonic Forces and Sonic Mania and NBA 2K18. That's it. Sonic Forces and Sonic Mania.
Also, we have Madden, and then guess what? Crash Bandicoot Remastered came out, so I know.
I kind of want that too.
Because I remember playing Crash as a kid.
With 2K, I find that their universe mode I play over and over. But they get weird glitches in it. And I don't know if you guys have played universe mode, but you notice that like you'll put a title on a show or you'll create a show, and because I'll run a big roster and have like different shows, and what I notice is like sometimes belts don't get defended, and it's like, fuck, I'm not going to do this manually. It was just too much to do, so I was like, fuck it, I don't care. So you'd have like one guy holding the title for like 2 years because they just decided not to defend it. It's stuff like that they need to fix.
Just like in real life.
Oh, that's very true.
Well, also when they have belts on the shoulder when they're coming out, like still coming through, like they might want to. I don't know if they can, or logistically or whatever, but have that looking a little better.
Yeah, it's always around the waist, right?
Yeah, it's like it's going through the person like they're a freaking ghost, or like the belt's a ghost is just going through the body.
Speaking of belts, pretty quick before we get back onto we'll rush on back onto the pay-per-view card. Naomi's belt, yay or nay?
I actually liked it. That's yay.
I thought it looked like styrofoam, Mark.
I'm in the middle.
Wait, you said did you say Naomi's belt?
Yeah.
Like the glow in the dark thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was cool. I don't know why.
It was cool. I just thought, I was looking at it, I was like, is that styrofoam? Like, I didn't know what was going on with it. I was like, when she came out, I was like, it's about time that they made it glow.
I was worried that they were going to finally have it glow and show on TV, and then she loses the title to Lana or something. During that third
That would have been myself.
Yeah, we should have pretty much figured that out right away as soon as she came out with the glowing belt. So poop break match is over? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that was our. I mean, if we were doing with this same group here, we were doing a live stream during the pay-per-view event, we'd be talking about video games and other things while the Seth Rollins Bray Wyatt match be going on.
This is why we should talk on Skype during the pay. This is why I said we should all get Skype and talk over Skype while we're watching the pay-per-view. This is why I brought up the other day. If you guys had Skype.
Okay.
Telling you, I can't talk during that match. I'll be pooping.
Then he definitely doesn't want his camera on.
I mean, no, that's more. You guys don't want to see that shit. But I can't believe I'm saying that a Seth Rollins match would be a poop match. Like, that's just, I think, the weirdest thing that I'd have to say about this card. Mm-hmm. I have no interest in the match, and I watch it be match of the night too. You watch.
I know exactly.
I'm actually gonna say about Roman Reigns later that it's really gonna be shocking to you guys when we get to it.
What do we got left on this card anyway?
We got like 4
matches. We still have 4 matches left, and the next one here, having to do with the taking that might actually be split up coming shortly. The Raw Tag Team Championship match, Cesaro and Sheamus against the Hardy Boys in a 30-minute WWE Iron Man match.
This is a weird stipulation.
So let's start with Kyron. Who do you have winning this match and why?
I'll give you, first off, is another team that we can't afford to split up because his own cast is split up. The hype was about to split up. American Alpha look like they split up. And I think Golden Truth just split up. Shining Stars might be leaving. Granted, I don't care about them in general, but you can't have another team break up. Who I think is gonna win? Now I'm picking Sheamus and Cesaro to win 3-2 because the storyline will be the Hardy Boys just can't keep up with the younger and faster team. That's what I think. So I think Sheamus and Cesaro are gonna win it 3-2.
Okay, Mark Ramble.
I'm gonna have to go with shit. This is hard. I'm gonna have to go with Sheamus and Cesaro on this one too, because I think what's gonna happen is this is gonna be kind of weird when I say it, but maybe the Hardy Boys may go broken mode and kind of like rekindle this whole rivalry between Sheamus and Cesaro and win while they have their little broken gimmick instead of just being a typical Hardy Boys Team Extreme thing. Or possibly Finn Balor may recruit them to join the Balor Club. I don't know, maybe because it's the way they're kind of like setting it up is kind of iffy. But never say never with Finn Balor and the Hardy Boys kind of coming together doing the whole thing. The Broken Club, I think I saw that on Twitter. I just don't know. I don't see them winning because I think it's going to lead on to something. Either the broken gimmicks coming or there's going to be a new group.
1,000% I'll agree with you there because they're teasing. Because Finn's got nothing going on, right? Is that done on purpose? I don't know. Again, this should have been the Finn Balor show tonight. But yeah, exactly. I mean, you look at this tag team match. I don't know if Matt Hardy can go 30 minutes. But, I mean, well, it's funny because it's like you want to see him do the broken gimmick, but I watch him in his matches, and I'm like, when he hits the mat, I don't know if he's getting out.
If he broke that's going to break him right there, then.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm
figuratively and literally.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I think I got to go Sheamus Cesaro here, guys, because I mean, I think if what they're saying, it depends. If everything they're talking about is, this Jeff Hardy tweet, does Balor help them? What about this? I'll throw out something wild that probably won't happen.
All right.
Like, say before the end of the match, they fly in like a Vanguard 1.
What if
People
Matt
would
starts
lose their
ascending to
shit.
heavens? What if he just starts ascending above the ring and starts yelling delete? That'd probably be the funniest thing in the world.
Oh my God! But people would lose their minds if that happened. And where's the pay-per-view anyway? Dallas?
I think Houston or Dallas, one of the Houston, I think.
It's in Dallas. What? I can't remember what kind of wrestling crowd is Dallas, excluding WrestleMania.
They're kind of born, not that good. Texas has never been the worst crowd, but they've never been the best either, excluding WrestleMania last year. So you don't know what to expect from them. But pay-per-views usually do have more hardcore fans because they pay more money. Well, so hopefully we'll see something.
At least it's not Mohegan Sun. No, but I don't know what to expect. I want to say the Hardys because I feel like with everything that's going on, I don't know how you break them or whatever. I don't know. This one I'm kind of torn. I've seen this match a lot too, so I'm like, well, do I care? I'm more interested in, I think, what happens with the Hardys.
Yeah.
Not the belts. I think that's the way I'm looking at this match. So, and it's a half hour, guys. So if you get bored, you get a poop match number 2.
Daniel Price.
Seriously, though, I don't know. If I had to pick, I would say Sheamus Cesaro. Hopefully that breaks the Hardys. That's what I'm going to go with.
Okay.
But my interest lays on what happens with the Hardys as far as like everything that's out there. That seems to be the bigger thing surrounding this match.
And Daniel Price.
But also, in fairness, Steve, sorry, I feel like that has surrounded them since they've returned. So.
Oh yeah, that's always been the elephant in the room, and the fact that Matt Hardy kept doing the freaking delete chants, that doesn't help.
You can't sue him for that,
Brother Nero.
But anyways, Daniel Price here in the live chat giving his prediction of the last 2 matches. In the Seth Rollins Bray Wyatt match, he has Wyatt needs it, but Rollins is going to win it. And then the tag team title match, he has Sheamus and Cesaro because Cesaro had to eat at coup de grace and pins 2 weeks in a row. So that's his thoughts on the last 2 matches. And we move on here to the next match. I think will be, and you guys can roll your eyes and laugh, but I see this as the match of the night. Raw Women's Championship match. Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks, 1-on-1. Yes, I wish it was Nia Jax, but I seriously think it was Bliss and Banks with what I hear or been hearing in the rumor mill and stuff like that about them actually just had a issue, a tiff, a riff, or whatever in real life. Having a feud, keep having it for the Raw Women's Championship. Again, as much as I want Nia's position, I think this match is going to be lit. I think it is going to be, bar none, it's going to be the match of the night. I really do think it's going to. You see, my own expectations. I'm talking already highly about it before it even happens. So I'm gonna let everybody give their prediction of the match first. We'll start with Palmer J.
Okay. I heard Alexa Bliss and Sasha Banks got beef in real life. Sasha Banks broke her jaw and then apologized. But I don't know how the chemistry is going to be. That's what I'm concerned about. I got Alexa Bliss winning this match. She's a good heel. So yeah.
All right, Mark Ramble.
I have Sasha Banks winning this one because this will not be the. Of course, yeah, everybody knows I got Sasha Banks winning this one. That's obvious if you guys on this show a lot. But I just think it's not going to be the first time. This is not going to be the last time they go against each other. Let's just say that.
Okay.
But then the next couple of matches they have together, I do believe Nia Jax will come and play a role. Maybe they have a triple threat. I mean, something's going to happen. Maybe Nia Jax comes in Great Balls of Fire, messes up, and allows Alexa Bliss to win it so Nia Jax could, kind of get her shot at it. But I have Sasha Banks winning this one.
All right, Kyron?
Well, like I've been saying, I really hope WWE goes the storyline route I said. Alexa wins this Sunday by cheating, maybe breaking Sasha in the eyes, roll up, foot on the rope, something like that. And then the storyline goes to SummerSlam. Sasha can't win on pay-per-view. And at SummerSlam, 1 year after where she lost her first title on the main roster, and 2 years after she lost her NXT championship in the same building, she wins the Raw Women's Championship at SummerSlam. Even though that won't happen because WWE's going to do Alexa versus Nia at SummerSlam, what I've heard. But no matter what, I'm picking Alexa Bliss.
I am Bill. Who do you have here in Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks?
Uh-oh. I've got to run in like my show. Hey, buddy. My son's decided to come out here. He's not wearing pants, so what are you gonna do, buddy? People don't want to see that. First of all, don't let this match distract you from the fact that the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead.
Never forget. Never forget. Brother. Never forget that.
No, seriously though, I think Alexa's going to win this, and quite honestly, it's a stepping stone for. I think you're going to get Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax at SummerSlam. It seems to be pointing that direction.
I agree 100%. So I'm going.
My question is this. My question to you guys is this: how? And this is what I wondered. I talked about this the other day. How is it possible that Sasha Banks went from the basement at 205 Live to a title shot within 2 months? Doesn't make sense to me.
I think this is a reward for her because she did put on 205 Live. I say, we reward you like this. We're rewarding you by giving you a title shot.
Or already being one of the top women in the division, getting like the Charlotte Flair treatment, and hey, whatever we want, we'll throw you in a title picture. Kind of like Bayley and Fear, and if they do turn her heel, they'll just throw her in a title picture for SummerSlam because they can.
She was a good girl. She got some reward. Here's your treat. That's what it feels like. It's like it was just weird. Right. But you know what? In fairness, I'm glad that it wasn't Bayley again. I'll give it that. Also, I want to know one thing. Mark Rambo, did you take a drink? Because you mentioned Great Balls of Fire. I thought this was becoming a thing. I had to check in, man.
I did not.
That's okay. However, Sunday could be a different experience.
Absolutely. If anyone that really drinks, I mean, they're gonna die of alcohol poisoning. They really try.
I'll give you this. On Sunday, I'll have the twisted iced tea going. I will take a drink every time it happens. I'll let you know. Oh, it's gonna be a nightmare. It's gonna be a nightmare, guys.
I know. I have a 24-pack of mug root beer. And if I try to do that with just root beer, obviously I'm going to I probably get through the whole thing with how many times they'll say Great Balls of Fire. That's certainly going to be crazy.
Could you even drink 24 root beer in one sitting? I don't even know if that's possible.
I'm pretty sure you would die. You wouldn't be able to handle that.
You'd be sitting in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's going to be my new bedroom.
No.
But anyways,
every match would be a poop match for Steve.
Yeah, I won't want to do a live reaction or anything to any other matches. I just have the whole show being fucked up from the start. Next match, Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman in the ambulance match. We're going to start with Mark Ramble predictions.
Oh, please, God, let this man Braun Strowman win. That would mean the world to me to let this man Braun Strowman win. But don't forget, we all know Vince McMahon likes big, sweaty men. And
Braun Strowman's the biggest and the sweatiest.
Yep, the biggest and the sweatiest. That is the biggest turn on for Vince McMahon. He's going to do anything in his power to allow Roman Reigns to win. The reality is Roman Reigns is going to win, but I would like Braun Strowman to win. So I'm going to go with Braun Strowman out of the way.
All right, before we move on, Raymond Daniel Price's prediction in the last match. He has Alexa winning by DQ, still keeping her title. Nia coming out, I guess he's seen Nia coming out after the match and wrecking them both. He's saying if Vince puts the title back on Sasha with as much as she's been botching, he has lost his damn mind. And he's saying they could drink every time they say Great Balls of Fire, Universe, and first time ever. So I guess he has his own drinking game or thing for himself there, heading for Great Balls of Fire. But Kyron, who do you have in the ambulance match?
Bill, remember earlier when you said you can't believe Seth Rollins on the poop match, and I said I'll say something even more great, something you wouldn't believe about Roman Reigns. Well, Roman Reigns right now is the most entertaining member of the Shield right now at the moment. He's in the best feud. He's in the best feud of the three, and it's almost again.
Hi.
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 Anyway, I think this match will be pretty good because I like both Strowman and I like Roman. And the brawls they've been having were pretty good. I like both that Fastlane and Payback match, and I feel like an ambulance match is a pretty good way to blow this off. I'm picking Roman to win. I mean, because we know he's gonna win. Even though I don't think this loss can really hurt Strowman if they book this right. If Roman just barely pulls it off by the skin of his teeth, and like he made like finds a way to put Braun in there because Braun's a pretty big guy. It's not gonna be easy putting him in the ambulance. But I do think Roman's gonna win. I think it'll be one of the top matches of the night.
Okay, Palmer J.
Yeah, I hope Braun Strowman destroys Roman Reigns. Like, I hope he destroys him so bad, like that one time when the Grizzlies destroyed the Warriors. That's how bad I want him.
Why that comparison?
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah,
Well,
but
all right. Okay.
like Mark said, in reality, Vince is gonna let Roman Reigns win. So, but I got Braun Strowman winning.
Okay, before we throw it out there to Billy, Daniel Price saying Roman Reigns, like Punk said, got to make Roman look strong, especially since he is facing Lesnar at SummerSlam. It was originally going to be Braun, but Vince changed his mind on that.
See, and this is where I'm conflicted because is that a lock? Like, I don't know. Because, I mean, the last thing I heard that was going to be Lesnar and Strowman.
No, they changed it.
Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Then this is the part that gets me. It's like, if you're rushing the title off Lesnar because of the ratings, which you want your champion on TV, just pay the goddamn guys more money and let them show up. Like, I just...
Or you can take the title off of him and he doesn't need to be champion again.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, the way I looked at it is this. If you were going to do... They don't necessarily have to do Lesnar Reigns, per se, because if you were to do Lesnar Strowman, which had been talked about for months, that match doesn't even need the title. But you would have to start that earliest Monday. I don't know. I'm conflicted. I love Strowman. I don't know why. He just organically grew on me.
Me too.
And I think that's the difference between him and Reigns. Strowman did it organically, but the question I asked too, and I'll ask you guys this, is Strowman only getting cheered because he's kicking the holy hell out of Roman Reigns?
Yes,
I think so.
And no. Because,
okay, go ahead.
Sorry, but like we all know that if you face Roman Reigns, you're going to be the crowd designated babyface no matter what.
Yeah,
but for me personally, like you said, Strowman just organically grew on me to the point where, all right, when he first debuted, we didn't like him because he was clumsy and all that. Now this guy, he's strong. He knows better. He's a better wrestler now. He's literally doing kip ups. He's actually a little agile, and he's actually entertaining because I like this guy. Now I do think if he went to another, if he would say Seth Rollins, he'll probably get booed. But I like, for me personally, he's not getting cheers from me because he was Reigns. But I know I'm probably in the minority.
Yeah, and he got his own catchphrase. So how do you not like Strowman? I'm not finished with you yet. I want to go Strowman on this. I really do. But that's the thing. Like, if going into SummerSlam, who does this loss hurt more to?
Strowman.
Strowman.
Reigns is already a three-time WWE champion. This loss really doesn't really hurt him. With Strowman, I mean, if you book it right, it won't hurt Strowman either. Because the Fastlane loss of Roman didn't hurt him in the slightest. Because right after WrestleMania became the best thing in WWE at the time. So I don't think it's going to hurt Roman at all. And if they book it right, it won't hurt neither one.
And the wild card being is how good Samoa Joe actually does in this match against Brock Lesnar in the pay-per-view. They feel like he did enough. They might actually continue the feud and have Samoa Joe still in the kind of picture in SummerSlam. And if they're going to do that, not having a one-on-one, then you have the ambulance match between Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, in my opinion, and have that as a hooked-up finish, having them both go into the ambulance, like through an ambulance with a spear or something, or Braun doing something and slip, whatever, however they book the finish there. You have it like an ODQ, no contest type of thing, and then you have Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe, and Brock Lesnar in a fatal four-way for the WWE Universal Championship at SummerSlam. So I think the wild card is Samoa Joe and how well he actually does in this match, let alone how well he has done. And, if he's impressed the WWE enough in how he's been doing his booking heading into Great Balls. That's why we know what I mean for that. So I think that being, in my opinion, they're moving forward on what we're really going to be doing with the Universal Championship heading into SummerSlam. But now we head into the main event, the match itself for the WWE Universal Championship. Samoa Joe challenger against champion Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman by his side. We'll start with Kyron, who you have winning in the Universal title match.
I have Lesnar winning. I want Samoa Joe to win so badly, but Lesnar's going to win. Here's why. They succeeded with Joe where they failed with everyone else not named Goldberg. They booked Joe so well to the point you actually believe he can beat Brock Lesnar. When Roman feuded with him, you didn't believe it. When Seth feuded with him, you didn't believe it. When Cena feuded with him, you didn't believe they could beat Lesnar. But the fact that Joe is literally going at Lesnar every week, nearly choked him out, and while in Raw, I think Lesnar actually got the upper hand by forcing Joe to actually come after him. So he actually had the mental capacity to make Joe lose his mind for a second. Joe is proving he's not afraid of letting people go at him. Please, WWE, I am begging you. Do not make this a squash match. If you make this a squash match, this would be disastrous on all levels. One, you're pissing away money on what could be a money match. Two, everything you've done for Joe since the feud started will all be for nothing if it's a squash. Meanwhile, if he kicks out like an F5 and Brock barely beats him after a 20-minute slugfest, you can't. This more than helps Joe even without winning. So I'm predicting Lesnar to win. I want Joe to win. And if WWE doesn't make some squash match that has competitive and Brock literally cares to do it, then this will be this could be a match of the year candidate.
Homer J?
Yeah, I got Brock Lesnar winning this. I remember the time when Samoa Joe was labeled as a beast in TNA and Brock Lesnar was labeled as a beast in WWE. But, I want this to be a 5-star match. Like Kyra said, I want this to be a match of the year. Hopefully this won't be like the Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar part 1. I hope, please don't. But in this match, I want Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe to go back at it. So yeah, I got Brock Lesnar winning that one.
Okay, Mark Rambo.
Oh man, I wish I'm gonna have to go agree with Kyron. I wish that they allow Samoa Joe to win this, but just considering what they're possibly doing, because I've been seeing a lot of stuff on Twitter. They're saying Samoa Joe could be a good champion in the future. I'm not. I don't think that Samoa Joe's gonna win it the first time. I think his emotions are definitely gonna play a role in it just a little bit, just a tad bit. His emotions may mess him up. I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar, but honestly, I don't care because I love both of them. So for right now, I'll go with Lesnar, but it's still a 1-1 situation with me.
Okay, and Bill?
Oh, boy. Kind of on the side of all you guys with, I really want to see Samoa Joe win this. I do. They've made him look amazing. I think if you're going to have him lose, you need to make him look like $1 million, and I think that they need to do that. Part of me, I know it's not going to happen, but I'd like to see Samoa Joe win with Heyman turning. I mean,
That'd be pretty cool. But Joe doesn't need a manager. He's pretty good on the mic himself.
No, but I mean, with the way ratings are and stuff right now, you would need, if you had a big surprise like that, I think that would do wonders for them. But it will only last a certain amount of time. But, I mean, Heyman gets people watching. I don't know. I know it's not going to happen. I would love this because I know there had been chatter before about him turning possibly on Brock Lesnar. I just don't know. I just hope it's not a squash match. I don't want to sit 3 hours to get to your main event to have a squash match.
Right.
Because the amount of times I hear the word Great Balls of Fire, I'm already going to be loaded. So, like, no, but seriously, like, I mean, you look at it's tough. I really want to see Joe win. What they've done for him over the last month is probably the best stuff I've seen him do in WWE.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I agree there 100%. And as I said on Twitter in our thread there in our conversation, that the only way I see Samoa Joe, in my opinion, being facing Brock Lesnar, getting another title shot, being still in the picture, is him winning on Sunday. It's him winning the Universal Championship. I don't see any other way, really. I'm thinking of having Samoa Joe continue because I still think it's going to be a one-off. Just buying time, getting to SummerSlam, and having Brock versus look strong against big opponents. And
the one thing you guys never want to do is check betting odds. That is the worst possible thing you could do.
I agree. That's why I never look at that stuff.
No point in betting on WWE because they change on just like that. Their booking can be from this to that, just like that. You don't book on something that's scripted, if you ask me. I wouldn't bet on WWE.
I've seen them do it twice where they've actually changed it from the odds, but they weren't matches that really mattered. But, like, when you look at the actual title picture, like, literally it's dead on once you look at it, and it's terrible. You're right. Betting on scripted, that's worse than spoilers. I'm sorry, because a lot of spoilers don't happen. That people are like, oh, this is going to happen, and it never does. But betting odds are worse.
The worst thing
avoid it at all costs.
Mm-hmm. The worst thing when fans read spoilers, especially the things you can obviously tell is fake. And then when they don't get them, they want to hijack the show and get mad, talking about we want this guy. Well, it's not WWE's fault. You were government student enough to believe this.
Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of people that get mad are the ones that read spoilers. And unfortunately, like, there was a time I read them and, I stopped watching for a little bit. But it was like, if I just stay off, like, that stuff, I enjoy the product a lot more. And I think with Sunday, because it's a pretty fairly decent card, like, but the one match is this main event that as soon as Joe won that 5-way or whatever,
yeah,
I was like, oh shit, it's getting real now. And then they had the first face-off, and I was like, I'm sold on this pay-per-view.
Me too.
And I don't remember the last time that happened.
That's certainly going to be a good match. Certainly going to be a good show. I do hope it does exceed our expectations and actually deliver for having the first ever, hopefully one time ever, Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view event.
Take a drink, Steve.
But I do certainly hope that it will at least deliver, at least in the town, the show in itself. Next year, when we get around this time, we'll have a new, different pay-per-view. We actually will get Bad Blood, just something else. But Great Balls of Fire. But we'll see when we get to that point.
The only thing I'm looking forward to in July, other than this match, is the Punjabi prison.
Hey, Steve, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but Kyrie sent us something on Twitter. It says like there's rumors that Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I just sent that link. There's a rumor. That's why I don't take it seriously.
What? What is it?
I just saw a rumor and
that there's going to be a women's Royal Rumble.
Oh, please, God, no.
Why you say no?
Because Ellsworth is going to win it.
Don't play with me.
I don't know, man. Like,
I don't know. That's the next step in the women's evolution. That's the next thing.
know.
And then the end game being women main eventing WrestleMania, or even more so if they can't have enough bodies for the women for a women's Royal Rumble. You want to make history, you have a woman win the traditional regular men's Royal Rumble. That would be end game last thing to check over that checklist I said, man, would have of the women's evolution. Revolution, evolution, whatever they want to call it.
Well, this is where it gets interesting too, because them saying they're going to have a women's Royal Rumble or whatever this rumor is. Now, this is where it gets interesting because they do have this women's tournament coming up, right? My thing is, are they really going to add? So if they do this women's tournament, are they going to do just a strictly women's show?
What do you mean?
I doubt it. I mean, it's different when they had with the cruiserweights and now have 205 Live. Then again,
but they're also going to add the UK show at some point.
And then we have Britain, and with that, and having the UK title now their own show. Maybe,
I mean, it's not far fetched by any means.
No,
but I think
it's not. It's just no, it's not far fetched. I didn't mean to think that way. I was just saying that to me, I don't think it would be best for business for that to be the outcome. Because I don't know how many of that talent they actually are going to sign from the Mae Young Classic.
Oh boy! Did you guys hear the schedule for that?
No.
God
yeah,
damn,
I did.
The finale's on a Tuesday night. So think about that. You're going to get SmackDown, 205 Live, and then immediately following 205 Live is going to be the finals of that tournament.
Ooh,
and then you still have to have Talking Smack.
Oh my God!
Why not just make it on a Wednesday like the Cruiserweight Classic? I mean, I don't watch 205 Live because I'm too tired at the SmackDown and I don't care. Make the women's sponsor. I mean, they have enough time to change it. Make the finale on Wednesday and everyone will watch it.
I don't know why they don't just tape 205 Live and then air it Wednesday after NXT.
Why not put it at Full Sail in general?
That's a great idea, actually. Because then it's 2 hours that night, so it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think this TV deal's killing WWE, though. Holy shit. Raw needs to go back to 2 hours. I don't care what anyone says.
I've said it a million times. It's not that easy because
I know.
TV deal with USA that doesn't expire until 2019. So it's going to be stuck with 3 hour Raw for the next 2.5 years.
I'm curious to see what they do in 2019.
Yeah, and until then, we'll just have to hashtag deal with it and just go with how things are going.
That's true. I don't like dealing with things.
Can you imagine Raw like 4 or 5 hours?
Homer, don't play like that. That's not funny.
Never.
I mean, on Raw nights, I'm usually sleeping after about an hour, so.
I mean, I can barely stay up for a 4 3 hour walk. This is why I just DVR Raw and watch it after the fact. I can fast forward to whatever the hell I don't want to see. But if you make a show 4 or 5, heck, I can barely handle a 5 hour WrestleMania. Even being at WrestleMania 34 in person, I was starting to fall asleep near Roman and Tate.
You mean 33?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I don't like a 5 hour Raw. I mean, I don't like 4 hour pay-per-views except WrestleMania. I don't like 5 hour WrestleMania because Wrestling counting a pre-show, which is 2 hours, so really in about 7 hours, you get tired no matter what. In WrestleMania 32, last year was because the main event was 27 minutes and boring. I started falling asleep on it. And this year, being there didn't help. I started getting tired during Roman and Taker. You can't. I disagree with that. Making it 4 or 5 hours.
Oh.
Now here's a question I want to ask. Again, I don't know how much time, Billy, you have and others to stay on, but there was one thing I did want to bring up last year, and that actually being the Mae Young Classic Tournament. What are you guys intrigued in it? Going to be watching it? Like, what do you think of it?
I cannot wait for it. Honestly,
I'm gonna watch. I didn't watch the CWC, but I'm gonna watch this one.
You didn't watch the Cruiserweight Classic?
No.
The one thing you can do, my friend, is go watch Ibushi and Cedric Alexander.
I've heard about that match, but I have not seen it for the life of me. I just don't take time out of my time to watch it. You know what? I'm actually gonna do you guys a favor. I'm gonna after this show, I'm gonna go on my computer and watch it.
There you go. The one thing I can say about the Cruiserweights is this. The Cruiserweight Classic, the matches were really well done because they let them go. You could tell it was done by Hunter. So now you have them on 205 Live. It's a watered-down version. They're not wrestling like they should be. So it makes for a very long hour because there's nothing really interesting. You have two guys fighting over a belt for a couple months. Like, Austin Aries got, 4 or 5 chances to win it. Just stuff like that. They're not building other guys. I don't remember the last time. What's that guy's name? Grand Metalik. I don't remember the last time he was on.
Grand Metalik.
I haven't seen him in months.
Just the final.
So it's stuff like that. I mean, yes, look at the UK tournament. Nobody knew literally any of these people. I didn't.
I knew about the WCPW, but that's it. That's the only person I knew.
Yeah, but I knew maybe 2 guys, but it was some of the matches were fantastic. And
I
then
didn't watch that.
The hidden gem was they gave us last takeover. Probably right now would be the match of the year for WWE, which was Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne.
That was amazing.
It was incredible. So, I mean, it's definitely going to be worth checking out. I don't know really any of these women. I want to see Rachel Ellering in there. Paul Ellering's daughter. Have you guys heard of her?
No,
Yep.
I don't know a lot of people from the Indies.
So I got to watch her first match up here in Calgary. She trained with Lance Storm. So her first match,
Really?
she was tagging. Yeah, she was tagging with Lance Storm in her first match, and she was super good. We got to meet her after. She is the nicest woman I have ever met. Next to Charlotte. Charlotte's awesome.
You got to meet Charlotte.
Right? Yeah, WrestleMania at the booth. Her and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's awesome too.
You lucky.
Well, here's the thing. We went to Access, right? And they were there, and it was kind of find a booth to go to. So we went to the NXT one, and we had just watched the first technically takeover that they did. It was the unaired one in San Jose, right? Mm-hmm. And literally Charlotte and Sasha had the best women's match I ever saw to this day, which it should be on the Best of NXT DVD if you have it or check it out. If you don't, get it because it's amazing. That's not a plug. That match was incredible. But the next day we saw her, and I said to her, that match last night was without a doubt the best women's match I've ever seen. So thank you very much. And Charlotte, when they're famous like that, they don't owe you shit, right? So, but she sat there for 2 minutes talking to me, being like, thank you so much. You have no idea how much that means to me. I was like, who the fuck am I? I'm just some guy, right? She's going to see 8,000 different guys. So it was like, you know what? It was nice to hear that from them, which was really appreciated. Sami Zayn, same deal. That's why I love that woman. But, again, another up-and-coming name is going to be Rachel Ellering. She's awesome. She's been on NXT a couple times, but I don't think they've signed her, obviously. But, Tessa Blanchard's the only one that I know that's in there right now.
Yeah.
Never heard of her.
I'm excited to see what they do with her. Will they get a belt?
I think they'll get a medal, a trophy, and a contract. What belt are you going to give them?
I think if you see a belt, they're getting a show.
Right.
All right.
Yeah,
Sorry, Rambo, were you going to say something else?
I was going to say it would only make sense for them not to have a show because of the lack of actual women's wrestlers within both Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make any sense to have a show. You would just put them on either brand and see what they could do there.
Yeah, no, exactly. I just don't know if you. I hope it's just a trophy because then then you're just saturating. But I mean, if they want to take over everything, I mean, what do you do? Just give them another show. I don't know.
I'm telling you, there'll be a tournament out there. They did the Cruiserweight last year. They did the United Kingdom at the beginning of the year. They're doing women now. What are we going to do next year?
Apparently, there's What was it? Shit, I had heard something. I can't remember now. Can I just say how much I love that UK championship? I want to buy one.
That actually looks pretty good.
I love that. I hope they sell it at SummerSlam. Yeah, I'm going to SummerSlam.
You're going everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing Mania though.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I wish I lived in the United States. I'll tell you why. Because flying out of Canada is the fucking worst. It's so expensive. Like, check this out. I can fly from Calgary to Las Vegas for $200 return. Okay, cool. Because I'm close to it. I can fly from Calgary to Toronto, which is in Canada, cross country. It's $1,000.
That makes no sense.
It makes no sense. Like, I could sit here and tell you all the worst shit in the world about we're not a small country by any means, but even our cell phone shit. You guys have unlimited data plans. We don't. And it's we pay over $100 for the best plans possible.
That's BS.
It's fucking nuts. So the biggest thing for me is because I'm now flying internationally, New Orleans is not a cheap city by any means.
Oh, no.
And it's a pain in the ass to get to.
I'm just saying, when I went to WrestleMania back in April, my mom had to pay a lot of money just for us to get our flights alone because we didn't fly straight from Baltimore to Orlando. We flew from Baltimore to North Carolina to Orlando, and then from Orlando to North Carolina to Baltimore. And then you got to take into account that we got where we were sitting at WrestleMania. I sat next to the ramp, literally right next to the ramp.
Yeah.
So you got to take into account. We took four flights and 3 tickets near the ramp. That had to cost a fortune.
Jesus. Well, that's like flying to New Orleans. They want me to go, listen to this shit. They want me to fly overnight to Toronto, wait 2 hours, jump on a plane to go to New York City, and from New York City to New Orleans. What the fuck is that? I don't get it. I'll tell you what, though. If Toronto gets another WrestleMania, you guys just have to fly. I got a place for you to stay. So
that would be great. I would love to go to WrestleMania.
I'm not too far away here, living in the Badger State in Wisconsin.
Hey, I like the Badgers. It's fine. No, I'm telling you though, Toronto's an amazing city. I'll tell you, being at Survivor Series was probably the best thing that I've seen in a long time. And fun fact for you guys. I've been showing my age this whole podcast, so I'll give you one more thing that'll blow your fucking mind. I was in attendance at WrestleMania 6.
That was 1990.
Yeah, man. I was 10 years old, and I still remember it to this day. It was Andre's last match.
Yeah.
1990. Wow, I was 2 years old.
It was 10 years. It was 10 years I was born.
Hogan Warrior. It was honestly I think it had the most matches in WrestleMania history.
Yeah, but besides one match, not so much from it.
Yeah.
Wait, what month of the year in the year 1990 that was?
March. Wait, April 1st.
April Fool's Day.
This is how I remember. WrestleMania 6 was April 1st. All 4 WrestleManias that were on April 1st, the main event was babyface versus babyface. WrestleMania 6. WrestleMania 17, granted, Austin turned heel after the match, but going in the match was babyface versus babyface. WrestleMania 23 and WrestleMania 28. That's how I always remember that.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you, if you've never been to a WrestleMania, it's definitely what you want to do.
It's an incredible experience.
Yeah, I was so close this past year, but maybe.
You know what, though? You know what? In hindsight, Steve, it was probably a good idea. You did. And I thought about that later. It was it would have been cool, but then you got to think about doing stuff like that last minute is absolutely the worst. That stadium was like a toilet. It was. I heard it was run down, and
I was wondering. No, I was just gonna say I was wondering because when I was in the military, I was stationed in Hawaii, and my parents and family we went to the Pro Bowl there at Aloha Stadium, and I was hearing somebody saying that Camping World was like Aloha Stadium, and that was the best things.
I actually left before WrestleMania ended, so I didn't get to face the barge of people leaving.
Oh, it was awful.
So when I left,
It was
WrestleMania
awful.
33. WrestleMania 33 is this day the best event I've ever attended. Granted, I've been to 5 pay-per-views, I believe. I've been to No Mercy 2003. I went to Extreme Rules, they're just pay-per-views. No Mercy 2003, Extreme Rules 2010, TLC 2011, WrestleMania 33, and Extreme Rules 2010. And by the sounds of those, you can tell that WrestleMania 33 won by a landslide.
Yeah, mine, I think, I don't know. My list is like, holy shit. Like, WrestleMania 6 has got to be, for nostalgia purposes, will never be beaten for me. Because when I tell people, yeah, I was there for Hogan Warrior, no big deal. People make it a big deal, and it's like, man, you were there? I'm like, yeah, but I actually got free tickets to it.
How?
So my uncle, he was a statistician for the sports. He did all the stats for football up in Canada. So when I go back and watch the DVD, so you know the WWF sign they got?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like first or second row above that.
Wow.
And he got those for free. So like, but also ticket prices were a lot different in 1990 as opposed to now. Like, the secondary market for tickets is the absolute worst. But I'll tell you, I went to TakeOver and Survivor Series in Toronto, and it was funny because the Survivor Series, we all knew that Lesnar was taking on Goldberg. Yeah. But I'll tell you, man, if I should have recorded a video, nobody expected that.
I mean, I was watching my younger brother, and mind you, I was dreading the match. I actually made a top 5 list on why I thought that was a bad idea. I mean, I was never looking for the Indy Lesnar Goldberg match. So basically, I told him, all right, let's just get this over with. And then, all right, Lesnar pushes Goldberg into the corner. Goldberg shoves Lesnar. Spear. Okay, whatever. Second spear. Okay, what are they doing? Jackhammer. No, not real. No, this isn't going to happen. 1, 2, 3. I literally started laughing at first, like, they didn't just do that. They didn't just squash the guy that ended the streak. Then when my sister came, I'm like, I don't know what to feel about this. I wasn't looking forward to the match, so they got over quickly. But at the same time, they squashed Brock Lesnar of all people.
Well, and it was weird because, like, in the building, people were freaking out. Like, I was freaking out. Like, holy shit. Like, I didn't see this coming. It was a great surprise. But then it was like people were mad at the end because it ended like half an hour early.
It did? I thought it went into overtime.
No. There was still like a half hour.
Well, be honest with me. Did you really want to see a 30-minute match between Brock Lesnar and Goldberg?
Oh, fuck no. And I tell you, that WrestleMania match they had was perfect.
And the thing is, I liked it because if I wasn't at WrestleMania 33, I probably wouldn't have liked it as much. But being the energy of the crowd and everything around it helped me enjoy Lesnar Goldberg at WrestleMania 33. Easily their best match, but then again, they didn't have much to top. Because we all know how the debacle at WrestleMania 20 and Survivor Series is only 1 minute and 26 seconds. So if I was watching Goldberg and Lesnar in my house here, I would have probably not enjoyed it that much. But because the energy of a crowd can help you enjoy a match more if you're there.
Man, I'll tell you, and that was the thing. I really wanted to go to Mania this year, but I'm really glad that I didn't. Orlando to me was just like, it's a massive tourist trap, right? So it was like, shit, I don't want to spend that kind of money down there.
I just one day.
Well,
I went down there for Mania. Me, my mommy, and my younger brother. We went down there for Mania, stayed at a friend's house that night, came back the next day, and was back here at about 9 o'clock at night.
Wow. That's solid. When you add up all the events, it's so expensive, especially being Canadian. You got to remember, we got to convert that shit, and it ain't good.
I wonder what's going to happen. What if London gets to WrestleMania? I think London would be a pretty good WrestleMania. No one knows that those fans, they're more rabid than Canadian fans and Chicago fans. Heck, I even say that in Philadelphia fans put together.
Yeah. You know what? My feeling is they deserve it. You know what? look at what happened when they did Wembley. They had a great event there back at SummerSlam. I think it was 91 or 92.
Yeah, Brent and Bulldog, 1992.
Yeah. I mean,
honestly. Look at Takeover London. Just look at that show. The crowd was hot all night.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, why wouldn't you give them one? You know, and it's like, would you guys fly to London for it?
No.
I think I would.
I know. Yeah, because I know some indie wrestlers that work in England.
Wasn't my thing too. I've always wanted to go to England, right? So I feel like that would be actually perfect to just go. So I don't know. I just think it would be a hell of a time. Partying with all those Brits, like they're awesome people. Like met some on the train on the way to WrestleMania 31, and oh man, because I did that trip poorly, man. I landed in San Fran. It was the worst thing I could have done.
Should have done that.
You could. Oh, I didn't know, and then I took a train. Like, well, I got the flights dirt cheap, right? So I was like, okay. And I took a train, and the train driver was such a dick. He was yelling at everybody, and we're like, no, man, we don't know how to do this shit. Like, calm down. Oh.
Me and all people at WrestleMania was just fun because you got so many people just excited to be there. Just everyone too sweet.
Yeah, that's a great.
Like, I'm too sweet people I've never even seen before. And like it was just the greatest time because, you know, as a wrestling fan, your ultimate goal is to make it to WrestleMania. Yep. I never thought that I'd be there as early as the age of 17. I never thought I'd be at WrestleMania that early in my life.
And then once you go once you're done, you're like, I want to go again.
You want to go again.
Yeah, and then it becomes that. Yeah, it becomes that itch you want to scratch.
Levi's Stadium was so bloody hot.
I bet it was.
Thought I was going to die. And the lady in front of us had an infant child. It was like, lady, I've already drank 4 bottles of water. What's your baby doing?
And that's just how crazy and how
bring a baby to WrestleMania. Who does that?
Hey, I mean, I probably wouldn't do it because of my baby, but WrestleMania,
no.
WrestleMania.
Unless they live around the area, seriously.
I think they might have, but it was just like I wouldn't even attempt that shit. Leave it with somebody else. Like it's just you can't. It's too much. And I was just like, oh man, like you have the baby wrapped up in a blanket. It's like fucking 30 degrees, man. You know, that's Celsius. Sorry.
Yeah.
Wrestling. It's funny. Wrestling at Levi's Stadium. You said it was hot. I felt sorry for the commentator because you know it would make the commentators wear like tuxedos.
Oh shit!
I know JBL, King, and Cole were down there dying of heat. That's how hot it must have been in those tuxes.
Oh, it was brutal, man. It was like, so they had, you know how they had it set up, right? They had that big glass thing over top.
Yes.
To keep the sun out. Well, I was like watching the pre-show. They had that battle royal there, and it was like, as soon as people got eliminated out of the ring, I was like, oh man, I don't know how they can lay there because there was still sun on it. I was like, oh, it's got to be the worst. I know, like, not even 2 matches in, I was like 6 bottles of water deep. It was just terrible. And then when the sun went down,
and the
Seth Rollins thing, you're sitting there freezing because it was hot all day. But it was the best experience. I mean, overall, I mean, I don't know if I want to do New Orleans. I want to, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting if they go to Los Angeles with the new stadium they're building. I'll do that for sure.
My question is, why are they going back to New Orleans so soon? WrestleMania 30 was just in New Orleans. Well, at that time, it would be
that was 4 years ago.
Like, that'd be 4 years. Why are they going back so soon when you got cities in America that have not even gotten a WrestleMania yet?
Well, it's like a centennial. It's like a centennial year or something for New Orleans. It's a big.
They're celebrating all year, and WWE gets to be part of it.
And they've clearly paid more money than everybody else.
Saying something. They get Super Bowl 47 back in 2012. I said, no, I'm a Ravens fan, so I got to see my favorite team win the Super Bowl. They got Super Bowl 47 in 2012, WrestleMania 30 in 2014, and WrestleMania 34 in 2018. That's got to be great for New Orleans.
You know,
the longest running rumor I've heard about WrestleMania is Philly, and it still hasn't happened.
Oh God, I don't think I want to see a WrestleMania in Philadelphia again. We know how Philadelphia. I'm surprised the Royal Rumble's going back there next year. We know how Philly is. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
Oh, I'll be in Philadelphia next month, and then heading up to New York City for SummerSlam. So, oh boy, that's going to be. What's that?
Please don't do anything stupid. Please don't do anything stupid in the crowd. You know how the crowd. See, Steve and Mark can vouch for me how much I hate when crowds ruin matches, such as the Universal title match last year. Please don't be one of those guys.
No. Although I will tell you guys this. I was the original, a part of the original crowd at TakeOver Toronto that started the 10 chant. You know which one I'm talking about.
There goes Kyron.
Why?
I didn't start it, man.
The count outs now.
I didn't start it. It just happened. And to be fair, it was rather fun.
Yeah, I bet it was fun now. It ain't fun now. It might have been fun back then, but it's not fun for us watching. You'll never see me in those chats.
To be fair, I've gotten a lot of heat for it, so I'll take it. I'll take it.
Now, as much as it sucks that it doesn't seem like we won't be getting a Super Bowl here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, I hope that maybe Milwaukee could get a chance with the new Bucks Arena and the stadium they're going to have in downtown Milwaukee coming up here shortly, and maybe we might get a WrestleMania in Milwaukee. But the odds of that is still pretty low, but it would be nice. Now, the second, the second place thing for that is maybe Minnesota gets one. They're in the new Viking Stadium.
I thought they were getting it last year.
I
thought they were getting it this year, 34.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I said
last
year.
Yeah, 34.
Yeah. But and then I know they were in the running again this year and didn't get it. So I don't know. But realistically, guys, would you want to go to Minnesota for WrestleMania?
Now, for me being in Wisconsin, see, I would have wanted that because it's close to home, saving money. Also, for me, next year in 2018 in April is my 30th birthday. So to go to a WrestleMania in that month of April, would be pretty awesome. Would be obviously my first event of any kind, live event, Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-view.
You could probably do New Orleans pretty fairly cheap, though. I mean, if you were to go through, I don't know, find a good, decent deal on like Expedia or something, you could probably pull it off. But I don't know how it works in the States, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I know that I can fly to Vegas really cheap, and it's amazing. Which, by the way, did you say, Kyron, did you say you were a Raider fan?
Ravens.
Ah, sorry. I'll tell you. Oh, yes, that Super Bowl where the lights went out.
From the 49ers. And Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, I still can't figure out why he doesn't have a job. Anyways, we're not getting political.
Man, please let's not get political. I tweeted before. I promised family members and myself I wouldn't get political in anything. So I'd rather us not go there.
Understood.
Not happening. But
then,
go ahead.
I don't know if they were going to make a last point. I was going to say then here we're getting toward the end. We're here at 11 p.m. Central.
12.
Midnight Eastern.
Holy.
So I think it's time to wrap it up. I'll let everybody speak, promote themselves, last words, and anything they wanted to say, or forever hold your peace until next week if you join. We'll start with Palmer J.
All right, follow me on Twitter, Supreme Palmer, and follow me on IG, Palmer Got Trophies. And hopefully a WrestleMania comes to Atlanta again.
Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely getting one, man, with that new Chinese takeout box stadium you got going on.
Wait, what?
No, you look at that stadium, the new Atlanta stadium. It looks like a Chinese takeout box. It's fantastic.
I just need Chinese. I need to see this. So I need to look
but they're definitely going to get WrestleMania. I mean, look at the video board in that place. It looks insane.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to get one within the next 10 years. Easy.
Yeah, it looks like a Chinese takeout box if I ever saw one.
It looks so awesome, that stadium, though.
And it does.
Did you guys hear the menu?
No.
It's like hot dogs are like $2 and drinks are like $3. Like, it's so cheap.
Nice.
So, sorry, man.
No, it's fine.
Saw the stadium. That way I'll give them some hope.
Hey, he has more hope than we do here in Wisconsin with the Bradley Center, BMO Harris Bradley Center.
Miller Park, if anything, for you.
Mark Rambo.
Mark.
He's dead.
Mr. Rambo. Okay, Kyron Chase.
Well, once again, thanks for having me on the show. I love being a co-host on this show. Follow me on all my social media at @SplashBro_Kyron. Besides my Deviant Art, that's Kyron Chase. My YouTube name, Kyron Chase. On my YouTube channel, I talk about WWE, Sonic related things, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and of course Baltimore for WrestleMania one day.
All right, and Billy.
You know what? Just a quick point before I get out of here. Yeah, there is a rumor about that Royal Rumble, so that is an actual thing. I'm looking at it now. So apparently, according to the Wrestling Observer, so it's actually legit. So
Yeah, legit.
Again, we have the Lazy Booking Podcast that goes Wednesday nights on YouTube on our channel at the Lazy Booking Podcast. Thank you guys for having me on tonight. It's been an absolute blast. And again, for you guys, I mean, you guys are more than welcome to come on our show. I think we're going to try and introduce a new segment that's going to kind of be like, you ever guys seen Around the Horn?
Yes, that's a good show.
I kind of want to do that. And I feel like I'm going to moderate and I'm going to dish out points, and the winner is the champ and has to come back the next week and defend the title.
Cool.
I feel like we're going to introduce that. I just thought of this today. I was like, you know what? I kind of like that idea. Yeah, I mean, we're over 100 episodes now deep, I think, and still going on. But yeah, if you guys want to join us on Wednesday nights, you're more than welcome. We'll usually do like a pay-per-view preview show and a post show normally. We've gotten kind of lazy the last month with given vacations and or whatnot, but yeah, you can find us on there and on Facebook at Lazy Booking Podcast as well. Yeah, our buddy Chrome's out doing something. I don't know what.
Yeah. Yeah, you can follow him on Twitter at Billy Fight at Lazy Booking PC, and Chrome at Heel Chrome on Twitter as well, and other team members there. Excuse me. Welcome. Follow me on Twitter at WW_podcast here for the podcast itself at Army_Strong_06 for my personal, and my two other ones with my NFL podcast and politics will keep out. Welcome to subscribe to the channel, subscribe to everybody else and their channels subsequently after subscribing here first, of course. And also thanks to those that watch live and part of the chat. I always greatly appreciate it. That's why I do this, to not only be able to have a platform to talk WWE with my friends and others, and having co-hosts that I have with Kyron, Mark, and formerly Raunchy Mikey. And but to hear other people's opinions on things and to have a live chat, let people give their opinions in the show. And I'm always a host and a YouTuber that if you're gonna write, give a comment in the live chat or in the video when it's archived and posted, that I'm going to reply as soon and quick as possible that I'm able to do possible in a day, because I would appreciate it to you, the person taking time out of your day to leave a comment for me, whether the question, whether it's even disagreeing with something I said, that's fine. I appreciate the feedback for sure. So
what happened to Raunchy Mikey anyway?
He got so much hate on his reaction video to Mahal versus Orton that he was just tired of it all. And he just stopped doing videos on wrestling in general.
Man, I love that video.
It was hilarious, wasn't it? Did you just saw his live Periscope? That was even funnier.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, and now he's moving on and transitioning into something that he thinks he has a better shot at, and that's going into the gamer world, becoming a gamer.
Oh boy.
Too bad. I love picking on that guy.
But again,
so are you guys going, are you guys doing a show on Sunday?
We might be.
I'll be down for it if you want to do it.
I'm hey, you know what? I'll break out the booze. I told you. I might have to do it from my phone though, instead of my laptop. But I will definitely break out that liquor, and we'll see what happens.
We might be going live here soon. Actually, we might be doing a post show. I know I started doing Raw and SmackDown live reviews on this channel. be an extension of Steve's Wrestling Ramble, but our show here itself might actually start doing pay-per-view reviews the night of like everybody else that goes live after the shows end.
Yeah, just
So
keep it within a half hour and you're good.
This was nearly 3 hours.
No. Do not do 3 hours.
I said, this here has been 3 hours.
Telling you. Buy Friday the 13th on the PlayStation. I promise you, it's a hidden gem. I'm not even kidding.
As always, take care.
Peace out.